match within the brackets. They came through round one with a victory over Senin. Runner-up in Group A. Group A having, of course, the high-seeded racer in the tournament, Blaze. So, strength in that group. No shove over, put it that way. So Grimm's done well to come out of that group. LePlopeur, winner of Group R, I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right. There's a bow.
They have a bow already. Wow.
But seemingly nothing else in Mino's house. But that's not a bad start. Doesn't open too much on its own, but it's nice for early adult if they may choose so. Both runners going to sword chest.
Hey, just for full transparency, I'm dealing with the trackers, but the trackers don't seem to be making their way over to the layout. So I apologize for any issues we have with the tracker, but in the midst of all that, a Deku shield in the Kokiri sword chest. Will we see any early Deku plays? I suspect not. It's not a huge amount of rupees they didn't give away.
Only 17 rupees, not the best start. So they could farm for a few sticks, but I can see them both going, getting the hell out of Kokiri Forest.
LePlopeur looks to be doing exactly that. Both of these runners like to do the early open grotto into Lake Hylia route. I noticed with GrimmFairy's race against Senin, they opted to go early Deku with enough rupees. So I think we shall see both of these runners retrace one another's steps.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we got a bow.
Fantastic. Okay, cool. You want to talk a little bit about the settings we're using in this tournament? Not that they're any different to the norm, but I suppose we can.
Yeah, I mean, just default standard 3 settings if you've been keeping up with season 3 settings. If you've been keeping up with that at all, so all medallions open the bridge. No boss key on Ganon's door. No, we have only item shuffle. Do not have Song Sane on, and Dead Hand is a small key.
This is the first hint we've got all race, so we don't have much on the way of a hero front. Fortunately.
Plenty to come, though.
Did you say Dead Hand was a key? Or
yeah, Dead Hand, small key.
Small key.
We are
not going to see Dead Hand. And if we are, that's a mistake.
If we are, it's
always a mistake. But yeah, it's... So, given that this is the first time the Challenge Cup, the Ocarina of Time Item Randomizer Challenge Cup, has been featured on Randomania, maybe we can go a little bit into... Well, actually, before we do, I just want to quickly mention a divergence in routing here. We have GrimmFairy going for the norm and going up towards Gerudo Valley. And when I say the norm, I mean relative to GrimmFairy, not within the meta currently.
Yeah, the Season 1 norm.
Old school Season 2 meta.
I told you he's an old school player.
So LePlopeur is doing something very on trend, I suppose we should say. Doing the most you can do within 1 day cycle and then getting to market just in time for the bridge to close. So whereas GrimmFairy is going towards Gerudo Valley, LePlopeur made the decision to go straight to Lake Hylia and get the owl. And here we are in markets at night time. But yeah, as I was saying before then, this is the Challenge Cup. Do you want to go a little bit into what the Challenge Cup is, how it came about, and how far into the tournament we are?
Yeah, so Challenge Cup was arranged by initially Luna Soap, Hell Knight, and Felixoid. It's for all the runners that did not qualify for the top 32. Iron Boots on Richard the dog there. Dick's paying out. But yeah, it's any runner that didn't finish in the top 32 was applicable to join, and it started off with a group stage. I think there were 23 groups of 4.
Something like that, yes.
Yeah, we are now in rounds 1 and 2 of the elimination bracket. 40 Skulls is a Hylian Shield. I believe Sun Song was on Ocarina of Time there.
Correct.
And there was another hint, but I didn't quite see what it was. I think it was Dead, whatever it was.
I was paying attention to the hint that GrimmFairy just got, and that was Zora Domain is a foolish location.
Ooh. No King Zora today. No 50 Skulls today either. Very nice. 40 and 50 dead.
Zora River, Way of a Hero.
Okay, so we're going up the river, but not into the domain.
LePlopeur finding out that without a stick, it's not easy to make the jump and not get spotted by the guards, so unfortunately, they're going to have to go at it again. Oh, GrimmFairy doing something a bit more conservative. So typically, if you are going to go into Gerudo Valley and then, there's a repeat of Zora River, Way of a Hero, if you are going to go to Lake Hylia via Gerudo Valley, if your movement is really good, you have time to go all the way around the circumference of Lake Hylia and get these 2 additional hints. So GrimmFairy obviously feels very confident about their movement. See if they make it back in time.
Not sure the movement's quite going to cut it here. It hasn't been as precise as it needs to be.
It's hugging the wall a fair bit. Yeah, he's losing speed here. But the timing for this...
GTG Wave the Hero.
GTG Wave the Hero.
And Market Wave the Hero, so...
Well, we got those Iron Boots.
Mm-hmm.
So GrimmFairy will be hoping that a repeat of the Gerudo Training Grounds hint will not be found elsewhere.
Yeah, or at least deep into the seed.
Deep into the seed, yes. They shall be hoping for a Gerudo Fortress Foolish to make the urge to go over there that bit less tempting. GrimmFairy opting to not do fishing. They don't have the rupees to do so. Maybe that was an oversight. Maybe it was a conscious decision.
I'm feeling oversight, to be honest. They might try and get some out of a few rocks here, but yeah, I think it's just you sort of hope that you find a few rupees on the way. Because now that check is unbelievably isolated.
I'm going to take a Lake Hylia Way of a Hero hint to tempt him back here.
Yeah, you're not kidding. And there is Requiem for LePlopeur.
There's this color. There we go.
Grimm might make it here. I'm not entirely convinced his backwalk is ideal, but I think they're going to make it.
They're fine. They've made it.
Yeah. Decent enough pathing. What do I know?
They would not have got it, though, had he did fishing.
No, you're right. You are right. So maybe it was intentional. Who knows?
On spell. So one more thing to note here, LePlopeur. Going for your traditional free song route, after getting the Zelda Lullaby check, they have not opted to go to the Temple of Time and pick up a sword. They are staying child. They are going to get what we call your traditional child-free song route, and that is the Zelda's Lullaby check, the Epona song check, and the Saria song check. But we see... I don't know, like, I would say it's down to personal preference, but I think within the community, there's a general concept that songs are maybe the best thing to target, because if you're going to check a song, you know you're going to come across something which is most likely needed further down the line. So whereas GrimmFairy picking up his iron boots. Whereas a check in the overworld could potentially be useful, but more than likely junk. A song is always something good to get. And speaking of good to get, Prelude of Light, this early in the seed.
Feels good.
Yep, not going to be wasting time walking up Hyrule Field after getting Saga Song. Oh, Darunia, that was the other hint. We're not going to be seeing, as you call him, Papa D.
Papa D.
I had to think about what you actually called him. I was halfway through a sentence and I wasn't sure if I could commit to the actual name or not.
I'm glad you remembered. I'm very pleased.
Stuck in there.
Means that it's catching on. We've got Papa D. We've got Uncle D.
Uncle D over in the graveyard, yes. Uncle D, of course, is Dampe. Does he have family? We don't know.
He's one of those sort of fake British uncles, you know?
Fake
like,
British uncle.
They just, yeah, you know, like everyone has that uncle that isn't actually their uncle because they just like live close by and is good friends with like your parents. That's just one of those uncles, you know?
I think back to like white people in America who rapped in the 90s. They'd often go with like Uncle something. I might just be Uncle Cracker. There's a reference I don't think anyone is gonna
Uncle Cracker, Jesus Christ. Is that really what he's called in the game files?
I suppose if the game is localized in America, then yeah. I mean, Dealer's a bit strong, but yeah.
Drug Lord, maybe.
That is a fun fact. I enjoyed that one. Stream getting a sight of LePlopeur, if the name wasn't obvious, is a French-speaking runner. French, of course, the dominant language, I would say, at this point within the Ocarina of Time randomizer racing scene.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of French runners in the community. I believe Grimm is American.
I believe so too, yes. Well, North America. I'm not going to say American just yet. We can't commit, because if they're Canadian...
Yeah, if they're Canadian,
they American
this whole time. Pretty hard, so... Alright, well, LePlopeur is just going over the same route that Grimm did, so they are going to be relatively even. We might get to see fishing from Plopeur, though, so...
And that's the important thing to look out for here. If LePlopeur gets good progression on fishing, then immediately GrimmFairy is on the back foot.
Yeah, I don't want to say it's GG, but you've got to feel that if something's on child fishing, then that is a massive advantage. Also, they don't have to worry about time of day. They don't need to make it back to Castletown, and now I'm going to go back to Deku Tree. So, time of day, largely irrelevant for Plopper here, so can do what they want.
Even then, they have Prelude.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter what time of day. Prelude, of course, puts you straight into Temple of Time. The other beneficial song when it comes to warping back to Temple of Time is Serenade of Water. Warps you straight to Lake Hylia, gets you right close to the owl. Unfortunately, you have to be in the daytime because the owl drops you off in front of the market. So if it's nighttime, you're having to wait. You're locked out at night. Can't find your keys. Walking around town trying to waste time of day until everyone else wakes up. Oh, I don't think Grimm got a good look at what was in Lake Hylia, so what is here? You guys a look at that, Chim?
No, I didn't see it.
Well, LePlopeur didn't think twice about having a second look, so it's obvious they know what they saw. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, I think the timer is struggling on the restream. It's going up in 10-second intervals and not a constant.
Oh, yeah.
Not a constant. There we go. I think it's fixed.
I was enjoying it, honestly.
that 10-second interval was a new one for me.
A timer in base 10. I get behind that. So one thing I wanted to point out there, GrimmFairy took the time to buy Deku Sticks, whereas LePlopeur immediately went away from market without. So GrimmFairy is going to be able to get a bit more golden skulls along the way than LePlopeur did. Drug Master. That's even more.
That's great. Where did you buy those bombs, Drug Master?
Drug Master. Aren't you a Don at that point?
Is that the right word?
I forget how the hierarchy of the mafia works. I say I forget. I never knew in the first place.
I forget. I forget my old days.
It was so long.
Oh my god, there's hover boots on child fishing.
That is tragic.
Oh, that is huge. Already, we're like 15 minutes in, and that is huge. Oh boy. Really gotta hope that Shadow is a stone if you're GrimmFairy.
Or you're hoping there's a Lake Hylia.
Yeah.
Hint out there.
Oh, that is nasty. 3 rupees shy of being able to do fishing, and look what it's cost. Way more than that.
I think the time of day was going to sting them as well, honestly.
Yeah, the time of day wouldn't have been ideal.
Time lost regardless. Anyway, LePlopeur, we're going to find out what is here in Desert Colossus.
It's Minuet.
A great song to get this early.
I mean, you're not wrong, Chaos Lord. Like, regardless, Stone Shadow is probably required, but... Okay, Hammer Chest is a small key. That's nice to know. And I can't see what was on top of that. I think it was a tunic. Was that a shield?
A tunic or a shield? It's thin.
Yeah, it's not needed, is what I'm going to say.
It could even be the prescription.
Don't think it was a mirror shield. It didn't quite have that nice glossy sheen. And Song of Time on Saria's song here.
You have to question why the mirror shield doesn't reflect actual sunlight.
Epona's song in the Ice Cavern. So we are very closely coming up to all of our sometimes hints here.
The Serenade is Epona's song. Is one to keep in mind because as the seed progresses, when we get maybe, I want to say, 90 minutes in, 2 hours in. All right, let's have a look at these hints. Okay, there's a VP to absorb the main.
Yeah, and Bigoron is dead.
Bigoron has a blue rupee. His finest work is only 5 rupees. So I lost my trail of thought there. I think I was mentioning something about Epona-san being in the Ice Cavern. If you get the Ruto's letter fairly early on, you have to consider whether or not the seed wants you to logically get Epona-san to get into Gerudo training grounds. Now, both of these runners, very good runners, both of them of which have Requiem of Spirit, and there's a trick they can employ to get into the Gerudo area without necessarily needing... Oh, Graveyard Waver Hero. That's going to be for the song, though. Let's not kid ourselves. That's...
Possibly, although you've got to think that it can't be Zelda's Lullaby. We already have Requiem.
Zelda's Lullaby.
So could be Storms. Can't be Sari. Well, it could be Saria's song, but we've got Minuet, so it's not forest access. So if it is the song, it's potentially Nocturne.
Could be paying Uncle D a visit.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you pay Uncle D a visit? He's got many goodies.
He has really unsociable hours.
Yeah, that's true. Well, it depends sort of when you visit him. If you visit him when you're 17 years old, he's available whenever, because he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead. What is being dead other than just being available 24/7?
Exactly.
We're going to see both of our runners enter the Deku Tree. Now, this is where we'll begin to see who has the execution, who has the better movement. You see if GrimmFairy begins to pull away, or if LePlopeur actually begins to gain some time on Grimm. This would be a good way to factor in.
Yeah, neither of them have
And
looked
advantages.
any worse than the other so far.
That said, I do want to make a point of asking GrimmFairy afterwards, was it a conscious decision to check for hints, or did he feel good on time of day and instinctively go for it? So...
honestly, could have all been rupee related. If you know you don't have enough rupees to do fishing, maybe you know that you can go around the back of the lake.
Yeah. That might even be it. It might not be an oversight. It might have been a case of, well, I can't do fishing. I'm not going to wait for time of day outside market. We have these hints.
It's just such a, like... oh, we'll definitely need to get a potential answer for that, because there was 5 rupees on the crate in Gerudo Valley. You know you've got 17 rupees, you know that fishing's coming up, you could easily just grab that 5 rupees, get yourself to 22 and be able to afford fishing, so choice was there.
It's true.
Seems nothing so far in Deku Tree. In fact, nothing even remotely useful. It's been pretty garbage so far.
Not in the slightest. Correct.
I think 2 of the checks have been recovery hearts. And that is not even a nut upgrade, just 5 nuts. So, Deku Tree looking barren today. Is it one of the classic barren stone Dekus?
At this point onwards, we are out of logic. So if they get something, they're not supposed to have it by now. It's a medallion, a stone, or an item dropped by Gomo herself. Just to progress this far... sorry, to progress further, you would need the slingshot. But who needs a slingshot when you can jump?
I think Grimm's angle's right here. Looks off. Yeah. Unfortunately, not quite with the right line there. Something I've been struggling with myself recently is the consistency of this B1 skip. Not the easiest thing to get done.
I'm in a weird spot right now where I can get the harder setup more consistent than I can the quote-unquote reliable one.
I want to try and get that nailed because it is more consistent if you know it. Whereas I feel there's always a little bit of inconsistency with the standard B1 skip.
If I'm being honest though, I'm just bored of the strat I'm using and I want to try and incorporate a bit more swag into my run, so I'm learning all the stuff that doesn't save you time, but it looks cool. So
see, I went back because I had a bit of a shoddy Deku Tree in my race, and I worked out that had I have got B1 skip first try and not fucked up my Goma, I would have won. So I really need to...
oh, is this the race against Choco?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
no.
I would have won by 6 seconds had I have had a decent Deku Tree. So, need to polish up on some of my skills there. And speaking of which, Grimm misses the 1 cycle on Goma.
I think we can see here, LePlopeur has already made up a decent chunk of time on GrimmFairy through movement in Deku Tree alone. If they get first try based on 1 skip, there's a lot of time made up. Here we go. And they get it, first try.
Got it, yeah. Spent a good amount of time trying to find that angle, but does get the jump on the first try. Meanwhile, Grimm finishes off Goma.
Okay, so 2 questions. 1, does Goma drop anything of use? 2, is Deku Tree a hard required dungeon or not? First question's no.
Well, that's a no. I'm feeling a stone. I'm feeling a stone Deku today. Oh, well, I'm wrong. It's a water medallion.
So GrimmFairy is not going to feel too bad about that. Nor will LePlopeur. With that said, even if it was a stone dungeon, I think it's safe to assume your opponent will be doing Deku Tree as well, so
yeah,
can't be seen as time loss.
I'd say like 96% of seeds you do Deku Tree. It's very rare you don't. You either don't because you've got a hint, or you don't because you've early adulted and you've got that much progression you just don't want to, or you just take a massive gamble that seeing that it's a stone in the Temple of Time, you're like, nah, it's fine, I'll leave it till last, and then you just don't end up needing it. But it's definitely more common to do Deku Tree regardless, even if it is a stone.
So, interestingly enough, neither of our runners decided to top up on their Deku Stick inventory. So both of them running quite low in sticks, but a fair amount of money. But no explosives, so we only need 40.
I was going to say, no bombs, so you don't really need the extra sticks for the Wolfos right now. But if you find bombs, and you can't clear the Wolfos grow...
We have a collection of danger dots on the Ocarina minigame.
Skull Mask is dead.
Skull Mask. Sashay away. Okay. The huge rupee, but you got a maximum amount of money anyway, so you can't benefit and you lose 40 to begin with. You hate to see it. Like, here's 200 rupees. Oh wait, you can't hold 200 rupees. That's a shame. By the way, I still need 40 rupees because you bought this.
Ooh, Grim wasting 2 sticks on that Wolfos there.
Yeesh.
Only 1 left.
There's a box movement throughout the maze as well. Okay, but they're holding up the shield, so it's not going to affect them. It's when you do box movement thinking it's quicker, and then you forget to hold the shield, and you just crash because you get hit by a nut. Happened to all of us. I'm interested if GrimmFairy is opting to skip the business scrub entirely as a conscious decision to save time. No, that's the wrong thing. There we go.
Well, they've got prelude, so it could be a case of they go there last, and then if nothing, save warp and then prelude out to save the money, but they've got 99 rupees, so... It is definitely some people choose to do last so they can save time, because climbing back up that ladder is a waste of time. So, not an uncommon tactic.
Okay, so LePlopeur is not going adult. They teased us. Then decided not today. We're doing well.
You got to think river here. In fact, no, you can't. You got no.
Oh, this would be slingshot minigame because they came here at night.
Ah, yes.
So a quick pop over to the slingshot minigame.
Yep, gonna grab that. What was the prize? Was it Deku Shield?
It was nothing of note, was it?
Yeah, I'm fairly sure it was another Deku Shield.
I think sooner rather than later we are going to see our medallion layout. But right after a second try of slingshot minigame, unfortunately for LePlopeur.
Choosing to commit to the full thing is to not waste their money.
And they...
Never mind, wasted their money.
Can't get another go of this without exiting the shop. Okay, Grimm did actually end up going back. Okay, yeah, so this is a conscious decision to save time.
Yeah, makes sense. I try and do that when I can. Depends on priorities, but it makes sense not wanting to climb back up that ladder. Gonna get Minuet. Gonna hate life knowing they could have just
yeah, it's
there.
gonna feel bad.
Yeah.
At least they can go adult and not feel so bad. No need to walk through the moblins. There we go. LePlopeur getting it. Second try. You're right, it was a Deku Shield. Interesting point made in chat earlier, and I believe you said so as well, Chimp. Zelda's Lullaby, where is it?
There's still a few places. It could still just be on the windmill. It could be on the crater.
If it is on the crater, then you have to feel for GrimmFairy a bit more, because you would have to imagine logically the hover boots are needed.
Yeah, we'll see if the hook shot shows its face soon. To be honest, it might be a blessing in disguise if Grimm doesn't have any progression, so that they sort of have to go back to fishing. Alright, let's see what the medallions are today. We've got Fire Temple, Forest Temple is vanilla, Shadow Temple, uh-oh, and Water Temple. So those hover boots, 100% required. That is not the best, so yeah. Not a terrible layout of medallions. Certainly not the best, but not terrible. Considering we already have 2 of them as well.
It quickly transpose this information into the Discord for Math Girl.
Alright, well. After all that, and despite LePlopeur doing fishing and Grimm not, they are ahead by about 25 seconds or so, so I've got to think better routing, better execution, just slightly pulling them ahead right now.
Apology for the clicky-clacky in the background, that's me doing admin.
It's also my bones moving because I'm old.
Old raggedy bones.
Oh yeah.
Having to move your entire body to commentate. Hey, LePlopeur, not doing any... Okay, wait. Yep, of course. Why are they doing it this way? I was about to say, not doing any checks in Kakariko, going straight for the Death Mountain Trail. But of course, there is this trick to go speak to the man on the roof. The man on the roof giving you a stick.
Just a stick.
Congratulating you on jumping moves. Pulls a stick out of his pocket and says, hey, you've earned it.
Colossus' right hand is the boss key.
Correct. So that is where you would typically find the silver gauntlets.
Now here's a question. It's something I'm a little unsure of in terms of spirit logic. Does that mean that long shot is required?
No,
to get the boss
because
key?
you can get all small keys before you get to that door.
Okay, so it's only if there's a small key.
Only if it's a small key, yes.
Okay.
Okay, interesting to note, Zora Tunic was found in Kakariko, so if we get a Kakariko Wave a hero, it could be... Okay, Sari's Song in the Windmill, not Zelda's Lullaby.
So you've got to think that Nocturne could well be in the graveyard.
Mm-hmm. And I think you're right in that, unfortunately for GrimmFairy, the crater will more than likely have our Zelda's Lullaby.
Yep.
Okay, Andrew, what have we got? A Bloopy. That's fine. I mean, she's giving it to you for free.
Cow hoarding some arrows.
Yep. Oh, well, I would leave my arrows personally, but each to their own. Oh, playing this game has made me realize how many arrow refills are like in the vanilla game.
Oh god,
there seems to be a lot.
There's so many.
Hello, synchronization on the grave pulling here. That was beautiful to watch.
Oh, hello. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Duplicate bomb bags, ladies and gentlemen. There is your possible Way of the Hero graveyard fulfilled.
Oh, of course, yes. Graveyard Way of the Hero.
Felix, Colossus' song was Minuet. We haven't seen Adult Sacred Forest Meadow.
Nothing in the box. I don't know. I wanted to call it a TARDIS, but I'm trying to be professional and not use colloquial terms. But I've forgotten what the actual name for it is.
Yeah, we're on a new channel. Let's not use memes.
Or the box in graveyard to check. I don't know. Freestanding heart piece. Or freestanding
That's exactly what it's called in the logic. Graveyard crate freestanding heart piece or something like that.
Box on top of a ledge in left side of graveyard. To make sure it's differentiated from the other boxes in graveyard. So for anyone who's just got here, I might have sounded a bit robotic then. I was having a bit of an issue trying to keep up with everything else, but on the surface, it looks like both of these runners are neck and neck. The reality is, LePlopeur has got an amazing advantage over GrimmFairy in that GrimmFairy, while going to Lake Hylia as child, didn't have the funds available to go fishing, whereas LePlopeur did. And as you can tell from the trackers, LePlopeur has hover boots and GrimmFairy does not.
Yeah, it's such. It's, like I said earlier, I didn't want to say GG at 15 minutes, but oof, it's rough. Jabu's not even a medallion, so diving through Lake Hylia to finish that off.
Oh, that's a fantastic point. Yeah. There's no incentive.
Zora Domain is dead, so just everything that's potentially going to get Grimm back into the Child Lake is dead.
The only thing is if Fire Temple is Pierre's hard required.
Yeah, but that'll get adult back in the lake, not child.
True. Okay, yeah, you're right. Nothing helps.
We are waiting on one more wave to hero. Now, if that's Lake Hylia, then Grimm has an out.
We're just crossing our fingers that Hyrule has the technology to make another pair of hover boots. And they're thrown into the item pool somewhere.
Yeah, oh, I accidentally pressed, what's the setting? About plentiful items?
Plentiful, yeah.
Yeah.
Uto got her hands on a photocopier.
Grimm equipping his Zora tunic. I like this fashion change. I dig it.
We do not have a Lake Hylia wave of hero, no. We have Zelda's River. We have Zora River. I guess it is Zelda's River. Does she have ownership of the domain?
Nah, Zelda's River is that shitty moat outside the castle.
Yeah, like if she's the princess of Hyrule, does her family like walk into Zora River and go, "That's my river," or each to their own?
They're not. They're not the British Empire.
We have Zora's River. The less we speak about the Empire, the better. We have Zora River, Gerudo Training Grounds, Market, and Graveyard. Those are the only ways of a hero we have possession of right now. Still missing a fifth. The opposite side for our foolish locations, we have one, and that is Zora Domain, which is even less reason to go child and go into Lake Hylia. So, it's looking bad for Grimm.
You're not seen Eddie as hard, Melrose.
I love that reference.
I couldn't see what that was.
I
want to say it's a quiver on top of DC there. Just $20 on the wall. Grimm going into Goron Sea and LePlopeur following. So no Dodongo's cavern dive at the minute.
Which is objectively a mistake, but we'll cross that bridge when they inevitably find the hammer in Dodongo's cavern.
It's not a mistake at the minute.
It's not a mistake, no. I'm just saying, like, every time you skip it, your hammer is there.
Yeah, when you commit to doing it early, it's completely useless.
Oh, of course. Why would anything else happen? Why would something good happen?
To anyone ever. Alright. Let's see what's in the maze. Link the Goron, nothing but love. More love in the maze. And $5.
Love and money.
And Deku Tree is a foolish choice. There's the hint. You know, I think one of the last races I saw had that hint there. That exact hint. I don't remember who it was.
So this is a point where having a little bit of knowledge on your opponent might help, because if you see that they have a tendency to do early Deku or not, or early adult, they might have seen the hint before they opt to go into Deku Tree. So you don't know if you've wasted time going Deku Tree without that information. But by default, you would assume they have done. I'm going to pretend that I'm a oracle when it comes to metagaming. Quite the opposite. I'm horrible, but it's
one of the advantages that Plopper could have used over Grimm there was, of course, hovering over the boulder to.
Oh, of course, we did not do that.
The chest. But of course, there's no Sun Song for the sort of the easy out. They are already on 4 hearts, so they could have just used a death to get out.
Yeah, I would have death warped. Oh,
there's the L. There's the L. That's got a sting for Grimm. Don't know if it leads to anything right now, but it is definitely a powerful song to have. Nothing on the volcano, so again, not damaging Grimm there. Ice arrows in the crater wall. Not picking those up.
And why would you?
Something, bingo, bango.
Go boingo in the shadow. Oh, we need to find a hook shot and fast for Grimm to not lose time.
Yeah, just to comment on Math Girl there. Zelda's Lullaby is required 99.8% of the time. That's not even me making that up. That is based off the stats that Mr. Axis went through. Ooh, 30 skulls is a strength upgrade. The other 0.2%, it isn't. That's quite simply, Zelda's Lullaby is not required. There are circumstances where you start with a free medallion and the 5 medallions you need to get are not needed. There is Song of Storms on Sacred Forest Meadow there.
GrimmFairy gonna be running out of checks eventually. You have to imagine the Dungos Cabin is high a priority on the list of things to do right now.
Yeah, you've also got to consider Zora River here. You can now do everything in Zora River as Way of the Heroes. So
they have Iron Boots, so they might be wanting to come through. Okay, slingshots on Frogs 2.
Logical all dungeons for Frogs 2, slingshot for Deku Tree. I mean, it is barren. So it might well be the last dungeon that's required.
It is a good point, actually. Sun Song is on your Ocarina and Graveyard Wave of Hero. Now, it's probably for the bomb bag, but we can dream.
Well, we'll have to see if we see a bomb bag anywhere else coming up soon.
Okay, so fans of GrimmFairy, if you're watching, you want LePlopeur to get nothing here. Anytime LePlopeur gets progression using Zelda's Lullaby is bad for Grimm.
Yeah, I mean, Grimm could find a hookshot soon, and that would bail them out of not having ZL at least. Not so much the Hovers, though.
But we're now beginning to get into territory where LePlopeur needs to be bottlenecked by something which forces him into a search for an item, and GrimmFairy might find it along the way. And yes, hover boots are 100% required.
They sure are.
If you do Shadow Temple without hover boots, then the police will be around your house.
Yes, you have broken the rando rules, and you will go straight to
Confiscate
Tresco
your
jail.
desktop. Yeah, Tresco will confiscate your equipment. You do get to meet Tresco, so you know that's the risk you run. You lose your equipment, but it's Tresco. It's
no, Plopper didn't skip the Song of Storms Grow. They just don't have Song of Storms yet.
correct. And not doing DC either. I wonder where. Oh, this might be a play for Zelda. I keep saying Zelda River. It's for Zora River.
Could be going back into the graveyard as well. They've got ZL now, so they can get the song.
That is true as well. Yes.
Oh, go on, City Foolish for Grimm.
City Foolish, which is honestly a really good hint to have.
Yeah. Even if you've done the adult portion of it, just knowing that you can skip the child side is nice.
Absolutely. It's always in the back of your head. It's something you will, I want to say, like 9 out of 10 times often.
Okay, so we are going at opposite ends of the river here.
Got a blitz going on.
It's just a heart container there I can see, so nothing on Upper River. There's that other Gerudo training grounds hint.
No, so the hint isn't even going to benefit Grimm because there's a repeat.
Well, there is a chance that Plopper doesn't look at it. They might just take a quick glance at the item and not choose to carry on. Fire arrows! Okay. There's fire arrows on the river. That could be our way of the hero. It's an interesting one. It's not something you often see for Way of the Hero, that's for sure.
They have hover boots. It's entirely in logic. As is a bomb bag, I should mention as well.
Yeah. Plopper going up the top of the river and not checking the grotto. Not sure if they're going to come back for that. Or maybe get it as child. Alright, well, Heart Container is going to get the hint, so no bonus knowledge for Grimm. And nothing in the grotto, so it's either fire arrows or Song of Frogs in the Rain is our Way of the Hero. And oh, Grimm not able to get his fire arrows from that direction.
This is a concern. Does Grimm actually know a setup? And I'm guessing not, because they're leaving it behind.
No, I think it's fair enough. I think if you see fire arrows, you sort of commit to thinking that maybe it's not those and maybe you should go and check Frogs in the Rain.
And I think that's what we're about to see.
Yeah, so I think they're just going to go get that as child. Fully confirm whether it is fire arrows, which is, as I said, very, very rare. Means that Din's is somewhat directly locked behind that in some way, or
typically the case, yeah.
Yeah.
Or that Din's fire is locked behind a dungeon in which fire arrows benefits.
Yeah, which
but that really,
honestly,
Stone Spirit. That's a.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have a strength. We know what one is. We do have Requiem. So Stone Spirit is definitely not on anyone's mind right now.
30 skulls, definitely not in logic right now.
Nope. No hook shot, no bottle, no boomerang.
I'm now quite the expert on skulls and logic because I was involved in that one seed where first logical bomb bag was on 30 skulls, and there were exactly 30 skulls in logic.
Excellent.
And half of them was like half the time we spent doing the race, and we spent the same time it took to do the race in the results channel trying to figure out where these 30 in logic skulls were. And we got there. It took some time, but we got to the end of it, and it needed you had to go into adult spirit to get a small key, to go into child side to get another small key, and that put one of the skulls into logic, and because we were on 29 for ages. That was good fun.
Grimm's getting some serious pot farming in there. Needs to do his bomb tube bowling. First time is complete garbage, so not paying out there.
Bombing the lady out of spite more than malice.
And it's a piece of heart. So nothing on bomb tube bowling. Oh wait, I've just realized hero now. So
iron boots on the slingshot mini. No, wait.
No.
Richard the dog had iron boots.
Oh yeah, Richard the dog. Yeah, my mistake.
Who in robots? Probably me. Imagine it was me who sounded like a robot.
Sounded fine to me. So maybe it was me.
Slight confession, I'm also streaming a football match on the other monitor, so...
Why would you want to watch Spurs lose?
This is great fun.
Not as a Spurs fan.
Oh, are you a Spurs fan?
Yes.
Oh no. Okay, then I guess the less we speak of this, the better.
Absolutely. The less we talk about football, the better.
Okay. Hey, LePlopeur is going towards a ferry in Desert Colossus. With that Spandangle Zelda's lullaby they have in their possession. GrimmFairy gonna check the Song of Storms grotto in Kokiri Forest, therefore wrapping up Kokiri Forest entirely as a location. I think we're good on hints, other than the other way the hero hint and one more sometimes hint, aren't we?
Yes. No, we've got all 5 sometimes. It's literally just one way the hero.
Oh, okay.
We've got King Zora is dead. Papa D is dead.
Oh, okay. I missed King Zora. There we go.
Hammer Chest and Fire is dead. Opponents is in the Ice Cavern, and the right hand of Colossus is the boss key for everyone else.
This is really interesting, LePlopeur. Neither of our runners have gone to Dodongo's Cavern. Granted, it's a stone dungeon. But that's 5, 6, that's 7 very dense checks. Maybe this is a play for bottom of the well, which is more dense than... It's an interesting one. I would assume at least one of our runners here would have gone to Dodongo's Cavern.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised, but again, you've got a potential way of the hero in Zora's River still unclaimed on Frogs in the Rain, so maybe not wanting to waste that.
Even more interesting, the route that GrimmFairy is taking to get to wherever it is they're going. Maybe they're comprehensively going through all the Song of Storms grottos. I assume that's what this is. Yeah.
I think this is a play using storms, then going into Kakariko Village, I believe. This is the first time we will see this grotto, I believe.
Yes.
50 is dead, we know. And, oh, baby, it's a hammer.
We have a hammer.
Okay.
Oh, not quite in Dodongo's Cavern, but close enough. Told you.
So, interestingly enough, when does LePlopeur go back up Death Mountain Trail with Goron City dead? That's not a convenient location to go back to, because everything else has been checked on Death Mountain Trail. LePlopeur has ZL, so they've done Fairy, they've done everything else on Trail.
Well, if they didn't do DC earlier, it's hard to imagine they're going to rush DC anytime soon.
Yeah, if they find any sort of progression that leads them away from DC, then it might be tricky to see them going back there. So maybe the break that Grimm needs to get back into this, and we might be seeing chickens here.
Yeah, the match is finished. I can now concentrate solely on them.
Now, the benefit that Grimm has is that despite having the hammer, they can't do anything with it. So they have later progression, but nothing for now. So again, it really is going to be vital for Grimm that they find no progression, and they just right, okay, it must be on child fishing. If too much of the map opens up to them, they're never going to go back there.
Yeah, precisely. But no serenade makes it really unappetizing.
Yeah, we need
that's the biggest issue here.
You need a real big bottleneck here for Grimm.
Nothing worse than
with the
walking
well
across
open,
Hyrule Field.
with the Dongo's cavern open. It's not looking great. Unless they choose that they want to do the Hyrule Field checks.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Saving grace is they still have Hyrule Field open to them.
Yeah, so they could go all the way across, do the Deku Scrub outside the lake, and then just finish it off, just in case. But at the minute, they only have 5 rupees.
I was going to say, yeah, we've only got 5 rupees, so...
Needs to fix that pretty quick.
Like, I can't bear to watch him miss fishing once. I don't think my heart can take a second time.
Nice nut by Grimm there.
Interesting he uses the nuts there, but not earlier where it would have been really efficient. With the,
See,
where you fly across the... when you go on like the top of the rooftop and you fly across, you land in that little pen. If you throw both the chickens onto the stairs and you sort of make your way back to get the chicken that's in the box, if you throw a nut at both the chickens then, they line up quite nicely. And very rarely do I see anyone actually use a nut there. I think someone recently put out a video on like how to do chickens like quickly.
I'm just going to accept that chickens isn't something you want to do quickly and just stick with my traditional route of doing it.
There is a method to the madness. It can be done quickly.
I think I've got a relatively good grasp of doing chickens quick. Either way, it doesn't pay out, so we are going into the well without Zelda's Lullaby.
It's times like these you wish like Arturo Dini was in comms and he would just like the absolute master he is. You're like, oh yeah, it's obvious. You just do this. Why do you teach me? Is EFG study emotes in chat? Yeah, a well play. I imagine LePlopeur is going to do the same as well.
Yeah, I could definitely do the same thing. 10 skulls, just $5.
Oh, 10 skulls. I missed that. Okay, there we go. Now it's interesting if you use your Song of Storms via Kokiri Forest and then up DMT, it's usually to gamble on bottom of the well not having your progression. So it's interesting that we are in the well right now. But as you say, there's not a whole lot they can do with the hammer, so that probably plays into it. But it's normally a gamble, not going well first. And we're going to get a look at the song in the Royal Tomb. Excuse me.
Any percent is down to something stupid at the minute. Last I checked, it was 6 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, it's more intro cutscene than it is gameplay. That's where we've got to.
I know someone said that it was like there was some new tech found like in the past day or two that drove it down even more. 748, all right.
Also, notice how I said we. I had nothing to do with it. But as a runner of Rando, I like you try to group yourself in with like the wider community. Like, yeah, I run Zelda, Rando, but it's so your breath. Bolero.
Okay, it's Bolero. That's even worse for
for Grimm. Yeah.
Sorry for Grimm.
It's horrible.
God damn.
Oh, it's not the song which is way over here, unless... Oh no, they got hover boots, so it's not even full access to the volcano, is it? So we're going to see a trick using flame storage to get the... Again, I got no idea what this check is called. I'm going to see, like, Royal Tomb in the Shadows. There's a... It's a sometimes hint, isn't
Royal
it?
Tomb in the Shadows. What is
it's called something like, if you like to... Like... It's called something like, a torch run, that's Zero Domain. Either way, it's... As mentioned there as well, it's, if fire arrows were a way of a hero, that is one place it could potentially be leading to. And it was nothing, so...
Oh, that's a hook shot.
Oh, we are... Okay. Salvation at last for Grimm.
Grimm can get his hook. Sorry, get his ZL. But so far, ZL hasn't led to anything, so it's not like he's behind because he doesn't have ZL. We know why he's behind.
Yeah, well, the worst thing that could happen now is if Zelda's Lullaby locks a check here. We know that Dead Hand has a key, so there's only 3 checks remaining that could have items in the well that are locked behind Zelda's Lullaby. But after the well, I imagine GrimmFairy goes to the river, picks up the fire arrows, checks for frogs in the rain.
And then goes back adult, because they now have a shiny hookshot to use.
It's deep into Fire Temple, you imagine.
Yeah, Fire Temple is definitely on the cards. 30 Skulls is now in Logic, so...
That is true, yes.
You can
now
get
get Sun
Strength
Song
1.
makes it a huge hassle.
Oh, yeah.
But with Forest Temple and Medallion, and the strength is, you know, it's there. Like, it's just there. Oh, Grimm, not gonna go to the river.
No.
Straight adult.
Interesting.
Okay, so all eyes on LePlopeur. Is he going to find something locked behind Zelda's Lullaby?
We do now have courtyard access for GrimmFairy, so we might see a forest dip here.
The good news is he has minuets, so he can even go into Forest Temple doing the courtyard, and that's 4 checks. Sorry, no, it's not 4 skulls, it's 3. 4 if you can get recoil jump, but you need strength for that anyway. And as I was about to say, you need hovers, but
Yeah,
we know where they are. We know. But as you say, Zelda's Lullaby hasn't locked an awful lot. And if there's nothing else in the well, and the LePlopeur spends time checking those checks, there's actually time save for Grimbear. Providing Grimm doesn't go back into the well.
I can see them going back into the well before doing child fishing, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, that is, another point. Yeah, we can't keep kidding ourselves. GrimmFairy is definitely disadvantaged with the lack of hover boots.
Yep. Can now get Zelda's Lullaby, though, making their way across to the Fire Temple, all on 5 hearts. But Goron Tunic, if it was on the Arching Colossus, is in Logic. Only 40 seconds to play with here.
The Fire Temple without a tunic is where boys become men.
Not only without a tunic, without a bottle. You know, that's when you've really got... when you're fucking swinging those balls around, you're going in there without a bottle and tunic. Oh, boy.
And now the car saying, no, I'll leave the engine on, I'll be back in a minute. Even need to buy a ticket. Water's not going to get him in time. Okay, so we're beginning to see... Okay, so Red Rupee in the room with the Dead Hand. So that's 1 of 3 checks that Grimm couldn't get.
Oh, I think we've seen all of the ZL checks now. There was nothing.
Oh, have we already?
Yeah, there was nothing on the chest near the coffin. There was nothing on the chest leading into Dead Hand. And there was nothing on the chest behind Dead Hand.
Oh, is it only 3? It's...
Well, including Dead Hand, it's 4.
Oh, it's 4, sorry, yes.
Yeah. We know Dead Hand is dead, quote unquote.
So yeah, that is actually time save for GrimmFairy.
Yep, no waste of time, but they have just lost 3.5 hearts. So, not going to have the best of the rest of the Fire Temple here. Unless they happen to find some off these slugs, which I think only drop magic.
Yeah, it's only magic. It's the keys that drop the hearts. They might lose a bit more health trying to get this Scourge over here, which, yep, we are going to... Do we not have a shield?
No.
Oh dear.
No one's bought a... Neither of them have bought a Hylian shield.
But this is unfortunate indeed.
So 3/4 of a heart here in Fire Temple.
You can't progress with this. You're gonna have to kill a Keese and hope you drop hearts. There's no chance. You're not gonna
hope for a heart container or something.
Yeah, you're not gonna get to those fairies in the room outside the boss with just 6 seconds.
Chaos Lord with the good shout of getting 40 skulls for the hook shot. Not the hook shot, the Hylian shield. Pro strats.
With disappointment as you're on 38 skulls and the only skulls remaining are in Fire Temple.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, boys become men. Here we go. We're gonna see who's cover.
I mean, they don't even have enough bombs to do quick voltages. So
It'd be really stupid if they did.
Yeah, this is not the play to make here.
But I love content, and that's what we're in the business for. We want to see Grimm.
Now, I think LePlopeur is going up the river. Yeah, they've got to be trying to get some hearts here, for sure. Without losing any more. There we go. Let's see. One heart, not even the generous 3, just 1. So, looking at about 16 seconds in this room here.
14 seconds.
15, let's go.
We got 15 seconds.
I'm not sure they can make it out.
Well, no, it would be better because that puts them back on 3 hearts, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So they probably want to take a death here.
Yo, the sweet little bottles. They can't fill it with a fairy, but it's full of a
The tragedy of it all. Grimm probably said out loud, "God, I hope this is a bottle." And then you pick that up and like, well, should have been more specific. But that is a mighty fine find indeed.
Yeah. So Grimm going back child, not entirely sure.
And again, saying hell no to the Dodongo's Cavern. I don't want any of it.
I'm really avoiding DC. Plopper is going to do songs, Frogs in the Rain.
Throwing the chicken behind him, though.
Let's see if it is indeed fire arrows. I dare say Grimm's going to do as well. Potentially hand in the to go and get opponent's song. Maybe. With GTG Way of the Hero.
That is true, but I imagine Grimm might know Reverse Wasteland.
Oh, it's a heart container on Frogs in the Rain, so Fire Arrow's Way of the Hero. Confirmed.
This has some very interesting implications because the one dungeon that benefits the most with Fire Arrows is a stone dungeon. It's Spirit's Temple.
I mean, it essentially has to be... Well, yeah, it has to be Spirit Temple or Haunted Wasteland.
I'm thinking of another place it could be, and I can't think of another one. It's either it's one of those two,
Yeah, so it's for Spirit Temple logic, or it's for Haunted Wasteland. Of course, no magic just yet, so we can't.
Honestly, what I would be doing. You have the bomb bag. If you get 90 rupees and you do bomb chew bowling, you can get bomb chew your 3rd time round. And this is important because if you go Child Spirit, logically, well, in most situations, hard required, you need a slingshot or a boomerang to get into, the checks of Child Spirit. But with bomb chew, there's a trick you can do to go further. So I would maybe consider getting bomb chew.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I'm convincing myself that this is required all dungeons for that logical slingshot on Frogs 2. I'm absolutely convincing myself that is what's needed here.
I think the song on Burning Cack will tell us a lot, won't it?
I think the song has to be Serenade.
It could... Oh no, we've seen Bolero, we've seen... Yeah, in actual fact, Epona's... Well, we can access...
Epona's is in ice. Suns
we can access it.
Yeah, we can access it. Suns is on all dungeons. We now... No boomerang. Obviously, we are many items away from all dungeons. Let's make that clear. But it's on the cards. There's another market way of the hero. So still waiting on our 5th and final way of the hero to get our hints.
It's just like Grimm and LePlopeur did a 7-year gap hand.
Yeah, Grimm. Safe handshake. After that.
It's not a handshake, it's a...
High five.
High five, there we go. I can't want to say hand clap. You know when your brain tells you, like, oh, it's like, shut up, brain, it's not. Like,
good old hand clap.
You're going to make me sound like an idiot in front of my friends.
Grimm and LePlopeur with the 7-year arm slap.
7-year gap hand slap. That's what we're calling it. Gap and slap rhyme.
Right, now where is Grimm going? I think Grimm's going back upriver. Gonna hand in their letter.
Gonna get the bad news out. Well, would you say it's bad news? I'd say it's a really good thing to find.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad news.
It's hero.
It's interesting news, you know?
You would rather have it...
Oh, LePlopeur potentially going into Dodongo's cavern. I think we're gonna see it. All one bomb.
The reluctant return.
Yeah,
a shield. Probably a good idea at this point.
Yeah. Or are they going to buy bombs? No.
Near 4 bombs?
No. Well, they could have if they didn't buy a shield.
Ooh.
Oh, they're going back. Wait, what? Not going to Dodongo's cavern. Where are they going?
This is bold. At
this point,
I don't know.
At this point, I am in Dodongo's cavern. Like 100%. This is so dry.
Don't do Hyrule field checks, I wonder?
Are they? Maybe they are grinding skulls real hard.
That's what this seems like to me. Yeah, they're gonna get 30 skulls, which I think in the grand scheme of things is probably the best play at this point.
It's difficult though. They don't have, like, it's not like they are flush with skulls. They have about 32, 33 available, you know, and some of those suck.
Skull, Ruto's is available. It was in Fire Temple.
Yep, but Plopper does not have it because they don't have the hammer, so no dip in fire for them.
Interestingly enough, the more LePlopeur puts off Dodongo's cavern, the more they're not going to come across the hammer, which was in the Song of Storms grotto on the trail.
Where is LePlopeur going? Alright, back to this skull. Okay, this is some very unusual routing. Really farming skulls at this point. Which makes sense. It does open up all the Forest Temple. If you get that first strength. I'm surprised they haven't dipped it already. Just to get extra skulls, if anything. And going back to CAC.
Do you know where there are skulls? In Dodongo's cavern?
Yeah, there are a few in Dodongo's cavern. But right now, Plopper has 0 bombs, no hammer, no strength, no Pierre. So getting anything from Dodongo's cavern is a little tricky. Grimm picking up a heart container. I don't blame them.
Fire Temple is on the cards, so the more health they have, the better.
15 skulls now for Plopper.
You know how many skulls GrimmFairy has?
I think it's like 9 or something, isn't it? 9 or 10. I think they've done some of Night CAC, but haven't been farming it as much as Plopper.
Not going to see any checks in here, given that it is foolish.
This is the real big balls play. Does Grimm dip Jabu?
Oh.
You gotta say no, because...
No, you do not. No. Especially when there's other places they can be going.
Oh, Dodongo's Cavern Way, the hero!
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Why? It's objectively wrong to not tip Dodongo's Cavern.
Damn. That is big. Big news for Grimm.
Yeah, you especially do not go to Jabu right now.
Yeah, LePlopeur not dipping fire. To answer chat, yeah, so a common strategy in the Fire Temple is actually to confirm whether you're hammer locked or not. So checking that first chest outside the boss room to determine whether you need the hammer or to determine whether you can go any further is a common strategy. It's less common when you have Bolero, because you can just go back whenever. But if you don't have Bolero, it's definitely recommended that you check that first chest just to know whether you need to go back with hammer or whether it's open or not.
I see. I have a counterpoint to that. I do not dip Fire Temple if I don't have Bolero, because the problem you have there is that most of the time my health is so low I cannot reliably get out of Fire Temple to continue in the crater. But if I have Bolero, I can go into Fire Temple, and when I get as far as I can, you just play Bolero, and you're where you started. There's no panic climbing up that really long ladder, the unreasonably long ladder. You don't know where they manufacture ladders at all, but they exist.
Alright, well, LePlopeur has found their hammer. Are they going to dip into DC?
Probably thinking to themselves, well, I could have had that a lot earlier, not longer, a lot earlier. I wanted the longer variety of hammer.
They are not going to dip DC. They are going to keep on the skull hunt and potentially go back to the Fire Temple now that they found their hammer.
That does make the most sense, given that Fire Temple is a medallion, DC isn't.
I'm not playing Bolero though, so no, not going there straight away. Going into Lost Woods.
Checking the Song of Storms Grotto and Kokiri, maybe?
Meanwhile, Grimm is coming out of the Lost Woods.
It's just paid it out for him on Death Mountain Trail. Might as well check if it pays out in Kokiri Forest.
So Grimm is almost certainly heading towards Dodongo's Cavern right now. Has 0 bombs. Could buy some from the shop here, but has already committed.
They have a hammer, so it's all good.
Yeah, they don't need bombs for a little while.
No strength, so the staircase might be an issue if the Armos outside doesn't drop bombs.
Yeah, you've got a bow, so
yeah, they're gonna have to shoot it with a bow.
Yeah.
Not the hardest trick in the game, but it's hard enough to the point where it's not considered within logic.
I don't think it's too bad. I know it can be worse if your sensitivity is like whack. But
it's one of those ones where you would never say it's a hard trick, but you're never going to get a first try every time, are you?
No.
It's very much a hit and hope. Yeah, we have all our hints, so we're good.
Yep. Unfortunately, no Lake Way of the Hero.
Of course, yeah. I'm going to buy a Deku Shield from...
Getting that a little confused there.
Maybe they're a bit used to multi-worlds, yeah.
Yeah.
Checking the scrubs. Like, oh, what's this setting where the scrubs tell you what they're selling? Oh, wait, yeah, it's... This is Season 3 Challenge Cup, baby. We play these rules, no Deku Scrubs shuffled.
That's Season 4.
Chests. Season 4. Rando with a Vengeance. No, that's the 3rd film. What's the 4th?
what, 4.0? Rando
It
4.0.
wasn't it? It was just for Pod 4.0.
Alright, I'm not convinced Grimm knows the bow strat here.
That was a good film as well, but what a horrible title.
No, they do.
Here we go. They got at least 15 tries.
Oh, wrong bomb there.
Yeah, that is not how you do it. You need to hit a bomb that's at least one along if that's the second side you opt to do. Yeah, I don't think Grimm quite understands that the timing. Maybe at this point I would go back into the previous room and see.
No,
they got it. They got it. They accidentally got it right. They
Meanwhile,
sorry, go on.
No, it's the same. Meanwhile, Plopper has decided to dip Forest Temple. So we are going to see our courtyard checks, at least.
Good players, a good density of skulls here. With a hover boots, they can get 4.
Only 9 skulls so far for Grimm, so a good 10 or so behind at this stage.
I don't know about you, Chimp, but if I'm not actively hunting for skulls, I typically find on average I get 10 per hour.
Yeah, 10 per hour seems reasonable. I think between, well, at least 10 for the first hour, I think it can definitely increase between hours 1 and 2. Although there was one point I was on like 20 skulls within 1 hour once, and then I was at 25 at 2 hours. I was like, wait, what the hell's happened? Like, how have I only got 5 skulls? It's just the plays that you make and the areas you go to. If you go somewhere like GTG fairly quickly, there's no real skulls there. So
the EU Weekly that's just gone by, I was in a similar position where I was on 20 skulls within under an hour. And it made no sense to me. When I got the 20th skull, I had to sort of double check and look at the timer and go, there's no way. One thing I want to point out here, Grimm didn't opt to kill the Armos in the previous room. So going into here, absolutely 0 bombs, which is an issue because they can't... They're going to struggle to light up the eyes. They're going to have to turn
I'm not sure struggle's the right word. It's just straight up not able to do.
Correct, yeah. They're going to hammer their eyes until they glow from the heat transfer.
Where are they?
Oh, you're absolutely right. My apologies, Yuri.
So, you can buy bombs here. No, that's Deku Nuts.
This is where your knowledge of multi-world comes into it.
That's Deku Seeds. I know one of them you can buy bombs for. I'm fairly sure it's on the child side.
It probably is.
It's past the 2 mini Dodongos.
I would at least open the shortcut. I'm not quite sure. No,
yeah.
Long shot is what's required to hook shots onto the chest there.
Yeah, Grimm not realizing that they can't get back up those shots, so he's gonna have to go back up here for the jump.
And they get it. But I question whether or not Grimm knows that Armos have bomb drops. I'm sure everyone has seen them drop bombs because you have to kill the Armos.
Speaking of
bomb chew over on the inside the well of Forest Temple, yeah. Last Child Spirit.
Getting the hell out of Forest Temple. Not sure where they're going at this stage. Still not into fire. Potentially doing Crater Fairy here.
So our way over here with Dodongo's cabin, not really satisfied early on.
No. Which must be quite frustrating for Grimm here. Bombs.
Wow, wait, LePlopeur got through Forest Temple pretty quickly there.
I don't think they didn't do recoil, so they only did the 2 rooms.
Okay. Still fairly quick though. I turned my attention for 1 second and he's done, he's out of it.
Yeah, you can rinse through those rooms fairly quickly, but yeah, it was a decent pace for sure. Checking every pot here, just having no luck finding bombs. Gotta think that you just gotta dip Goron City here to buy some. Let's manage to crack up to 10 skulls. Not sure where LePlopeur is going here. Potentially to Dodongo's Cavern.
About time too, I should add.
Coming up this high. No. No. Oh. Keep teasing DC. They haven't got a skull here, so that's what they're after. 22 skulls and counting now.
I missed the 20th.
Really struggling to find bombs. He just has to go and buy some stage.
Oh, chat.
Is this it? Is this it?
It's happening.
Hey, we've got the DC.
Reluctantly. Oh, we stopped for a second, but no, they're committed. Now,
one thing that I've seen, not frequently, but enough to mention, is that some people will just do Dodongo's Cavern up until the eyes. They will open the eyes, but not go into Dodongo himself. And we know that DC's Way of the Hero and the item is going either above Dodongo or on King Dodongo himself. So if Plopper chooses to only do half of DC, then they are doing themselves a disservice. Grimm picking up 5 bombs.
It should be noted too, LePlopeur hasn't seen the hint that this the Dodongo's Cavern is Way of a Hero.
Yeah, to be honest, so they might only be here for skulls. They might not.
I was going to say this is primarily for the skulls. He's not interested in the checks. I think the main thing is chaos. In the room just before you cross the bridge to get over to God, I wish I had better names for these rooms, but...
What is the spike room?
Yeah, so before that, there's a room where you have to find the fake Armos and push it onto a switch to, like, reveal... No, sorry, you push it out of the way so you can climb the ladder. Assuming you're a child as well, as an adult, you just climb up the pillar and hit the switch. There are... excuse me. There are 3... Armos that you can kill, and it's likely they'll drop at least 1 bomb drop. And then, as Grimm's about to show here, there's a pot in the back of this corridor which will always have a 5 drop of bombs. Pack of bombs? What's the collective for a bomb?
The pack, isn't it?
I assume so, yeah.
A murder of bombs.
It'll... a wisdom.
An arsenal. Arsenal of bombs.
One of the biggest curiosities of the English language, isn't it? Why so many collective nouns?
Fuck knows. Alright. What is above King Dodongo?
There we go. The LePlopeur is showing that you can pick up a bomb. Here we go.
Just a bundle of arrows, so
it's on King Dodongo.
The big lizard himself is hoarding the Way of the Hero item today.
And it's going to be for wallet. It's going to be for something like that, isn't it?
I don't think it can be for a wallet, based on what we know.
I hope it's not a wallet, because I've been gunning for Dodongo's Cavern since the start. I need this to pay out for my own validation.
Lens. Let's go lens.
For Market Wave of Hero, yeah. No magic, of course, but... Long shots would be hype.
Scale would be pretty fun.
Yeah. Like, it's not going to convince Grimm to go to child fishing, but...
Yeah, Grimm's item from Way of the Hero Dodongo needs to be a fucking fishing rod, quite honestly.
It needed to be Kokiri's sword for child fishing, frankly. Remember those days?
Oh, it's a strength! It's a strength! Okay.
You know what? LePlopeur might not even opt to kill Dodongo,
Wait,
Dodongo.
why is that wave the hero when 30?
Strength 2 could be it could be for GTG. Strength 3 is just locked behind the wave of hero.
Or it's to further progress the fire arrow wave the spirit.
Potentially too, yeah.
Oh, this is getting spicy.
I would reserve judgment until we know where Strength 3. Typically, in times like these, you would just do Spirit Temple, and then if you don't find Strength 3 there, it's like, well, let's just cross our fingers and hope it's nothing too. Okay, 10 skulls for GrimmFairy. We're gonna see if LePlopeur opts to kill King Dodongo here. I assume they're gonna go back and get the skull. They might just open up a shortcut and no, okay, they're making progress. So GrimmFairy is gonna clear out Forest Temple.
Yep, now fully open for them. Plopper is going to be able to do that afterwards. Is potentially going to feel a little aggrieved, of course, skull ramming, but this second strength is probably required at this point.
Yeah, you have to imagine. It could be for key logic in GTG, in which case it might not even be like hard required.
Ace Grimm does not have a shield, no.
No, Grimm is actually quite hardcore on the concept of not having a shield. Okay, all eyes on LePlopeur. He is not leaving. We are going to see strength crop up on LePlopeur's side. Sooner rather than later. It's not even as if Grimm is waiting for the mirror shield either, because it's a stone spirit, it might not even be required. But yeah, they're just, like, in this economy, they're not in the market for a shield right now.
Fucking Brexit.
Other things we need. Like toilet paper. God, you gotta get your hands on that before that all disappears. A weird thing. Like hand sanitizer, I understand. Toilet paper, I do not. Good so far on GrimmFairy's side. All things considered, very nicely well done. Oh, shieldless Stalfos fights go. Stalfos, however you pronounce it. And a fairy for good measure. Probably got Fire Temple in mind afterwards. Oh wait, I forgot to see which stone Dodongo's Cavern had.
I missed it entirely.
Okay, well, Grimm has a stone, we just don't know which one, so...
We'll find out in a second.
Any one of these.
I think it was Ruby. There's a small part of my brain telling me it was...
Vanilla Ruby, here we go.
No, it's the Emerald.
Ah.
Talking garbage.
Okay, so we both have the Kokiri Emerald, I just overlooked it. So the LePlopeur following Grimm's trail, straight to Forest Temple. However, nope, never mind. Agenda. You have to say, probably the song in the graveyard. Oh wait, never mind, we got the song, it was Bolero, wasn't it? So they're checking 20. And then it's gonna be straight to Minuet. Hey Kubek. It's probably LePlopeur.
It's Plopper, yeah.
It is. Okay, yeah, we're not even gonna no fronting here. LePlopeur
I mean,
has the skull advantage, has the item progression advantage.
Yeah, the skull advantage could be absolutely not required. There's no, we don't actually know that strength 2 is needed. We think it is, but we don't know. But the fact is that Plopper has hover boots and Grimm doesn't, and that's such a big deal. Where is Grimm going?
This is interesting.
Grimm? Grimm, you can finish.
We'll chalk that up to an interview question. Boom.
Wait, they didn't have any key. No.
They're key locked?
Yeah, they're key locked. Wait, no, they can't be key locked. It's impossible.
LePlopeur currently has one key on him right now, so
they can't be hover locked because they didn't even check. They didn't even check.
Yeah.
That. Where on earth is Grimm going? I color me confused.
You get this suspicion a light bulb has just gone off in GrimmFairy's head, and it's convinced him to just drop everything and chase this one fort. And we're about to find out. Are they buying a shield?
Are they buying a shield? Oh my goodness! You know what?
Better late than never, honestly.
Fair. I mean, it's one hell of a deal, but Jesus.
I can respect this, honestly.
But now where are they going?
Well, we need to do something to make it like the child play a bit more valid, because we don't want to get to the interview and be asked, "Hey, by the way, you went to child just to get the Hill Hylian shield. What was that all about?"
Getting rupees. What are they getting rupees for?
I can shield. Duh.
Where are they going?
Oh, I don't know. LePlopeur still collecting skulls. It makes complete sense.
Alright, I have never been more confused by...
Are they grinding skulls as well?
Around here.
So. Also want to add LePlopeur, Forest Temple, definitely not key locked. LePlopeur has 2 keys and we haven't even got to the top.
Grimm is farming skulls. Grimm is waiting for nighttime to get more skulls.
Interesting.
Why?
If someone is on his personal stream, sorry, like his personal tracker, does he realize he has strength?
Yeah, it's marked down. It's
interesting. Okay.
Forest is marked down as a forest medallion. I have straight up no idea
it's bold.
What this play is.
It's bold, and I respect it. Probably not going to work out. In fact, it's not going to work out. We know this. But the gallbladder, the gallbladder on the guy. Gallbladder.
The gallbladder. What
you know that obscure part of the body, the gallbladder. So you know how typically in the Western world we would just say, like, has he got the cojones? Has he got the balls to do this? In Asian countries, it's the gallbladder.
Yes.
Like, do you have the gallbladder to do this? And I was trying to say that, but in the end I said balls because in my head, Western balls, and then I tried to finish a sentence. So it ended up being gallbladder. I like to think that's a nice mix of both cultures.
15 skulls. Man, this is the most interesting fucking nope out of forest that I've ever seen in my entire life.
I'm telling you, there was a light bulb gone off in his head, and he knew there was nothing else he could do to satisfy this route until he found these skulls.
Yeah, like, just straight up deciding that 30 skulls is the way. Let's go.
Got into the world of Forest Temple and suddenly realized I'm not even supposed to be here, and then left. accidentally stumbled into the wrong house party. You've been hanging out in the kitchen a bit too long. You realize you don't recognize anybody. Like, huh, I should go. Okay, Damping had nothing. So the bomb bag, more than likely the way of a hero item here.
Only one chest left that it could be.
Is behind all dungeons. If we find a bomb bag that is Sphere 0, I want to say. Where was it?
Oh, that's magic. Temple.
Excuse me.
So we are
fire arrows now available to use. And he's gonna get silver gauntlets soon, you have to imagine. So suddenly Spirit Temple looking like the place to be once he gets his hand on those silver gauntlets.
We don't have many items left to go. We are long shot and dins away from go mode. Other than light arrows.
You are correct, yeah.
And we've still got a GTG Way of the Hero to fulfill.
I think at this point, you're willing to throw all...
What the fuck does Fire Arrows unlock? So, Fire Arrows has to directly unlock something because it's Way of the Hero. And it's got to think it's Dins.
Yeah, with so few items we have, it's going to be Dins.
Meanwhile, something is in GTG. And we only need 3 things.
Could be Slingshot.
So, I'm thinking that Dins is on Haunted Wasteland. And GTG has the light arrows. That's what I'm going to go with.
Given that Deku was a water medallion, I don't think... I think we can assume Deku Tree, like, logically within the playthrough, is quite far down in the spheres.
Yeah, I mean, it's completely barren. There's nothing on Gomer, and yeah, the medallion itself is only going to unlock Serenade, so...
So I can imagine the Slingshot is fairly deep as well.
Man, we might see a sub 3. Honestly.
LePlopeur is making really good progress through Forest Temple.
Yeah.
Other than the magic, not a huge amount here. It's one of those dungeons where, for the amount of checks that's in there, and... oh dear.
Grimm sending that bomb tube off on an adventure.
LePlopeur going for third time is the charm.
18 skulls.
Yep.
Going back into well.
Oh no, Grimm.
Goodness, this route is something else.
This was this one-time save and it's gone, so... bleeding time, unfortunately.
Yuri, I would love to see that.
But I would be so concerned about fire arrows being necessary for Spirit's Temple, where I would literally just be laser focused on getting there. Be as child or adult, I want to be in Spirit Temple. I want to see what the hell these fire arrows are hiding.
I just want to see a bomb bag pop up from somewhere to make that bomb bag and
yeah, that'd
be amazing.
It would ruffle the feathers of our races. I previously felt bad for Grimm because having not many rupees going into Lake Hylia, it happens, and you got unfortunate. But after this, I can't explain this. There's no reasoning.
Yeah, I'm lost.
For bailing on your medallion dungeon to go back, child.
Your medallion dungeon that unlocks Nocturne.
There's always a part in linear dungeons where you've said everything you wanted to say about the base currently, and you just devolve into thinking of ways how to make the seed really cruel for our races. And I think we've definitely hit that part now at Meg.
Oh, Grimm was going back as adult and is now going to Spirit Temple?
Do they have the means of getting the checks? I don't think... Did they pick up Bonchu?
They did, but they only have one left.
Oh. Well, we have to make it count. Planting a bean, maybe it is the Goron Tunic. And Grimm really doesn't want to do Fire Temple without it.
I mean, I'm okay with that as a play. I have nothing wrong with someone going to get a Goron Tunic.
And as well as that, there's a skull to be got here, isn't there? Yeah, so here's the bugs. The bugs come out and the skulls rise up. As that famous saying goes.
Yes. Grimm not realizing you need to step away a little bit from the soil patch.
I didn't know that either.
So, if you're standing in the way directly of where the sculpture needs to come out, it won't come out.
Okay then. I have had it in the past where I've dropped the bugs and all 3 bugs have instantly burrowed into the soil.
That sucks. I've had that before, yeah. It fucking sucks. Like,
what
come
are
on.
the chances of it? Okay, we're gonna get a fairy check. I believe LePlopeur has already done this, and double defense in Forest Temple. That's nice to have. Yeah, I believe LePlopeur has already checked this, and there was nothing. Oh, the timing for that back for just a bit too early. But that's always satisfying when you pull out a bomb during a back walk, and then the timing, you get it just in that sweet spot where you don't stop still.
What makes you look like a pro.
So, yeah, it makes you look like you know what you're doing. Oh, I should write down strength as way over here into Dongo's cabin. So it's normally this time of the siege where I stop everything and do big pose out of logic. Because Market is way the hero, you got the bow. In the heart of hearts, you know that Iron Boots are way the hero, but there's a nagging feeling in the back of your head that says, I should stop everything and do bottom of the well.
Alright, Grimm going back adult. Let's see where this takes him. Has himself a shield now, so it's going to equip it.
Big spin strats going on for Phantom Ganon here. I don't know if they're more accurate than regular slashes. I must admit, I don't know the correct way of doing Phantom Ganon. I assume certain slashes are better than others.
I think you just have to, like, from what I've seen, if you're directly below him, it's more likely to hit him. I don't think spins make any difference, really. Although LePlopeur is getting wrecked by Phantom Ganon is. Good job double defense in the chest before.
Yeah, what I do know is if Phantom Ganon goes up top like that, and you know you're about to enter a rally with him, if you shoot him with arrows, he does drop back down.
Alright, Grimm going back in the forest. I officially have no fucking thoughts about. No idea what that detour was about.
That was a full-on Monty Python moment.
Utterly perplexed.
I'm going to do something completely different. Okay, which medallion is this again? This is the Vanilla Forest medallion.
Yes, so that should unlock Knockdown for LePlopeur. Can't get into Shadow, so it isn't going to matter too much, but is going to go across to the Fire Temple. Has everything they need, apart from a tunic. But a minute and 12, No bottle, but we'll find a letter straight away. Can't empty it, but...
Like, typically as a minimum, you can get away with 6 hearts. Most people are comfortable with at least 8. Got 9. He's got 9, so yeah, that's... For those who don't know, each quarter of a heart equates to 2 seconds. And even then, like, behind the scenes, the game actually registers 8ths of a heart, doesn't it? It might not... It won't show graphically, but the game does take into consideration that each heart is actually split up into 8ths.
Yeah.
So,
if you ever see Child Link, I think if you've got double defense and you are Child Link and you are in Jabu, you run into these spikes around the Octo room. You won't take any damage for your first hit, but you will on your second, because it's actually taking a quarter of a heart off.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, the game doesn't care. Well, the timer for being underwater and being in a hot place doesn't take double defense into consideration. All it takes into consideration is that each 8th of a heart is 1 second. So at full health, 1 heart equals 8 seconds. So 6 hearts, quick math, that is 6 times 8. And that is 48. So that's 48 seconds to... It's... Your top runners will do that quite comfortably, but it's a bit... It's the threshold of like, oh, this is a bit edgy. I don't really want to do this temple with that low amount of hearts. So you can see why these 2 runners have put it off until we've got a decent amount of hearts. And I think 9 is... That's going to be fine. That's, what, about 72 seconds? So 1 minute, 12 seconds. Plenty of time. Of course, the insurance policy of a fairy in a bottle is lovely to have. That's not a luxury that LePlopeur is going to get. They will find Boruto's letter here. And unfortunately, you can't sell the letter to the beggar in Kakariko, so you can't get rid of it.
Great.
I learned today that you can't sell the beggar potions. I was desperate to buy a shield, and I had a red potion in a bottle. And she's like, sell me things whilst I shave. I don't know what is a beggar, male or female, because the hair's over the eyes, you can't see the facial. Either way, they say like, oh, sell me something in a bottle, and then you just sit there and drink it. You consume the thing you want to sell in front of them. Rude. They're very sort of like, this is what you could have had. Gesture. Ah, okay, we are seeing the Volvagia quick kill on Plopeur's side. We'll talk about it, but my throat's gone a bit tickly, and I'm scared I'll start talking and just cough halfway through. But here we go. So Volvagia has... Oh, unfortunately, we didn't pull it off. If Volvagia is in the air, then you can quite safely assume the quick kill wasn't successful. There it is. Okay, so... Long story short, Volvagia has 2 hitboxes, one underneath the ground and one that's above ground, which is the one that conventionally is the one you'd be hitting. The reason why LePlopeur was putting bombs down on the ground is because while Volvagia isn't in the air, you can actually hit that hitbox using the explosions from a bomb. It's a bit more precise than what you're seeing would assume. You actually have to get like tucked into the corner of the hole to make a hit. But you can do damage to Volvagia while Volvagia is underground. And with that knowledge, you can kill Volvagia in one cycle, meaning that you can kill Volvagia before she even has a chance to fly in the air. That is the Volvagia quick kill.
Good explanation.
The backup, of course, is if Volvagia goes into the air the first time, she just flies around, breathes fire. If you climb down the side of the platform, Volvagia will immediately just fly back into the ground, saving you a little bit of time. It's unwanted, of course, but sometimes Volvagia can pop up in holes, which is really inconvenient. Nocturne is what you get for Forest Medallion.
Mm-hmm.
Did we know that?
It had to be Nocturne, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not actually thinking about the logic. Okay, so it had to be Nocturne. Is that because Shadow's Fire Medallion?
Yes.
It is Fire Medallion. Okay, yeah, so yeah. Yeah, it would have to be, wouldn't it? So LePlopeur next, probably going to hand in the letter, which I forgot to mark on the tracker. There we go.
Yep,
so
could well be going to do that.
Wow, LePlopeur does that, and Grimm is halfway through the most boring dungeon in the game. Do we have any questions in chat about anything we're overlooking? Any concerns? That's the wrong term. Any curiosities, I should say. The less I talk about these Poe fights, the better. I'm so sick of seeing these Poes. They take so much time.
Yeah, they do. Forest Temple is a tedious one.
Oh, of course. Thank you, Yuri. Actually, did LePlopeur get 30 skulls during that? Probably not, because they got skulls in Forest Temple before they got the strength, didn't they? So yeah, probably don't have 30 skulls right now. But I'm guessing at some point, like after they hand in the letter, I would assume they work their way up towards 30 skulls, get the strength, and then make their way into Spirit's Temple. If only to see what the hell these fire arrows are hiding. Oh, did they do Frogs 1? They did, yeah.
Yeah, both done Frogs 1 at this stage.
This might be just a backup plan in case Spirit Temple has nothing, to the point where it's like, well, we have Ice Cavern. Not to toot my own horn, but I found a setup which makes that Kuko's entry quicker and more reliable, so no more eyeballing it. I bet it's because they got magics. Yeah, they got their magic like so shortly before it happened. I hadn't even okay, LePlopeur just finding out their strength is actually for LePlopeur. That is actually really important information because that strength. He knows there are 2 strengths in Logic right now. So if he doesn't find strength 3 locked behind strength 2, he can assert that strength 2 is what's in Logic. If he finds another strength, then he knows at some point he's going to have to go outside Ganon's castle, or Ganon's castle itself, for these light arrows. What are we gonna find in Zora Fountain Fairy? No, yeah, Zora Fountain Fairy Fountain. It's a wallet. That is a fairy trusting you with a bigger budget.
I don't know, where is LePlopeur going?
Good boy with your money, we can give you more interesting. And be for the skull up here. We're gonna have a look at how many skulls. Actually, with that said, we could have checked earlier. He got the one in Zora Fountain. I just wasn't paying attention. 30! That is 30 skulls for LePlopeur. Whereas GrimmFairy, I think, doesn't even have half that amount. So for GrimmFairy's sake, you're kind of hoping that Silver Gauntlets away the hero purely for keys and GTG. In which case, you can, depending on how many keys are behind the Silver Gauntlets block, whether or not you can circumvent that by just save scumming keys and whatnot. And they have Song of Time too, so...
Yep, right side is fully open to them. So is Toilet.
2, okay. So Grimm actually has way more than I realized.
Yeah, their detour definitely helped them pick up a few skulls.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot about... How I forgot about that, I don't know, but yes.
How could you forget about this sculptural whirlwind mystery?
I just thought Grimm was in Forest Temple for ages. Okay, those Silver Gauntlets. I'm very interested to see what LePlopeur does here. Will we go to Ice Cavern and get Epona Song, or will we go to Spirit's Temple?
Well, they're not warping out. They're also... Yeah, this might be a river play. Go up the river to get Epona Song. Nice.
Interesting. Okay.
Not a bad shout. I'd probably do Reverse Wasteland if I lose, but...
Yeah, I would at least confirm if... because it's more likely you don't need Epona than you do. Or maybe he really, really wants that slingshot.
Worth noting as well that LePlopeur can now do the Haunted Wasteland check.
It's in logic with your Epona Song, yeah. And now hover boots.
I would really want to get rid of potential fire away of the hero as soon as possible. If that's Dim's fire, he can just finish Spirit.
Oh wait, hang on. I got the wrong medallion for Grimm. It's a forest one, isn't it? Yep. Grimm, I imagine, goes Fire Temple here. Nope, never mind.
Going Spirit. I don't know why. Potentially going to GTG?
Reverse Wasteland. No.
Oh wait, no, they're
The
going to
tunic,
get
yeah,
tunic.
the tunic for Fire Temple, of course, yes.
It's a shame the time of day is what it is as well. Can't pick up any skulls from classes here. That's not what I expected them to do.
I was watching the plopper and I looked to the left and yeah, he's halfway down the Colossus. So he left Forest Temple to plant the beam so that when he finished Forest Temple, he had a quick shortcut to make reverse GTG quicker. That's it.
But why?
we know why. For the shortcut. I just said it. I laid it out for you in flat.
What's that? Is that... I think it's Nehru's Love on the iceberg there.
Looks like a heart piece underneath as well.
Nothing on Fountain. I'd be quite surprised if we found anything in Ice Cavern here. It's definitely possible, but...
We're about to say, Grim doing what, honestly, LePlopeur should have done a lot earlier, and
Yeah.
that is follow up on these Fire Arrow Waver. He's even
Yeah.
got the Silver Gauntlet, so he can go into Spirit Temple and just at least check for Spirit Locks checks.
Yeah, this could easily be Din's Fire here. And it's 5 rupees.
It kind of has to be Spirit Temple,
has to be
isn't
Spirit.
it?
It has to be Spirit. It's not Composer Grave. It can't be for Forest if a Spirit Trial, because we need Dins to unlock not Spirit Trial, Shadow Trial.
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
So
forget,
it straight up has to be Spirit Temple.
I think Grim realizing now, the sooner he gets Silver Gauntlets, the better.
Yeah.
Also, not even getting the tunic. Assuming it is a tunic, it might not be.
No, on 10 hearts now, I think they're confident enough for 10 hearts that...
Yeah, Chimp, did you enable Fire Arrow entry as a logic?
Yeah, I secretly told them in the IRC, like, just so you know, for this one.
Oh, and Agents of Chaos. Okay, so Minuet. Where is this taking us?
Possibly for the skull here on top of the meadow.
Oh yeah, fair point. Still going for skulls on fair.
Yeah. Which they must have already got.
I keep like hitting my microphone. I'm so sorry. Points being made in chat as well. We have Graveyard Waver Hero, but so far the only thing that satisfies that is a bomb bag. Now, if they find another bomb bag that isn't necessarily locked behind the bomb bag we found in Graveyard, it would assume that we need Sun Song, which is on the Ocarina of Time, to satisfy our Graveyard Waver Hero. And even then, what would it be? It would have to be a long shot? No. Yeah, it could be long shot or Din's Fire. That would be ridiculous if it was Din's Fire. Or Light Hours. Oh my god, Light Hours on Sunsong Grave would just be... the Re-Dead Grave, I should say. It would be disgusting, wouldn't it?
Fucking hilarious.
Sorry, yes, that's the right turn of phrase. Hilarious.
Alright, Grim also going into ice here.
This is interesting. For Grim, it makes sense because there's skulls to be got here. It's not a random overworld check. Well, not random overworld skulls. Like, there's at least a dungeon he can clear out, albeit a side dungeon. But it's not as if they're waiting outside Kakariko to go up Death Mountain Trail to get the skulls behind the rocks there. So this is a play I can understand for Grim. For LePlopeur, it's a head scratcher. Keys interrupting. Oh, we got the ground jump and killed the keys with the bomb as well. Very nicely done. I am not sure if LePlopeur can reverse. Wasteland. I would like to, not like, that's the wrong term. I would suspect that people this far into the tournament, like, I've at least done it once. Maybe they're not comfortable with it, but they've at least tried it. And there's the other wallet. Oh no, wait, no, that's the same wallet. It's in Zoa Fountain, isn't it? Yeah, it is. So, LePlopeur doing very much the same as what I do, and that is you go for all the glitchless jumps. You don't get any of them, and just reluctantly ground jump anyway. Actually, hang on. For GrimmFairy, he has Fire Temple open, so okay, it is a bit of a head scratcher for him as well, given that he can do Fire Temple, which is a medallion, but choosing not to. Anyway, LePlopeur is about to get Epona song. Okay, there's a bomb bag. Ow.
Let's stretch our logic here.
Where was okay, so the Ruto's letter was in Forest Temple. Was the hook shot? Where was the hook shot?
Hookshot was in the well, not bomb locked.
Wasn't bomb locked.
Letter
Okay.
was in Fire Temple, first chest.
Oh, of course it was. My apologies. Yeah.
Not bomb locked.
Oh, do you know what?
Zelda's Lullaby was not bomb locked.
I'm thinking of ways why that wouldn't be in logic, but I think that bomb bag. I don't think it's Wave a Hero.
Oh boy, yeah, because everything you need to get that bomb bag is.
You just need the hover boot from Child Fishing or the hook shot from. We just said it and I forgot.
Bottom of the well.
Bottom of the well, yeah.
Yeah, and even Song of Storm, Sacred Forest Meadow Adult, but Minuet was on Requiem and Requiem was on Zelda's Lullaby. So this, oh my god, the bomb bag is not.
Hang on. So here's a stupid footnote. Can child access Zora's domain to hand in the letter to therefore make the bottle available?
Oh, that's a good point.
So I think we need to see the scale.
Yeah,
first.
There's no scale, so yeah, you're right.
So that's the only thing that's keeping this bomb bag.
The seed almost just fucking unraveled on itself, but you're keeping it together by the skin of its teeth.
If we find a scale that's not bomb locked, then the bomb bag in Graveyard is not why the Graveyard is Wave a Hero, and it will be for the Old Dungeon Sun Song to check the Re-Dead Grave. And as Chaos Lord says in chat, we are actually one scale away from Old Dungeons. It's gross for the racers, but for us it's fantastic. Okay, so LePlopeur does know Reverse Wasteland. They've executed it very well here.
Worth noting that we've kind of done most of the in-logic checks, so the scale isn't very likely to randomly pop up.
Yeah, so... Why a scale? Okay, so, sit down, open up Notepad so you can follow along, because this goes on for a while. We have Way of a Hero Graveyard. The song was Bolero, and that wasn't the only way we can access the creator's song, so Bolero wasn't Way of a Hero, meaning that Graveyard is Way of a Hero for an item. We only have... excuse me. We only have a bomb bag that was in Graveyard, which is something that could satisfy the Graveyard Way of a Hero. So up until now, we've assumed that the bomb bag in the Graveyard is the only bomb bag that's available to us. As you're about to see on GrimmFairy's side, we are about to find our second bomb bag. And the only thing that makes that bomb bag in Ice Cavern not accessible is the lack of a scale to enter Zora domain as child. Sorry, wait, hang on. Oh, because you got the bomb bag. Hang on. Hang on.
No, you're right. You're right.
Am I?
Yeah.
But they have Zelda's Lullaby and a bomb. Oh no, wait, duh, I was about to say, but we have a bomb bag. That's what we're talking about. Bloody hell. Okay, so so there's only two ways logically a child can enter Zora domain, and that is with Zelda's Lullaby and a bomb bag to enter via Hyrule Field, or with a scale via Lake Hylia. So because we're talking about a bomb bag being in logic, it's not going to be entering via Hyrule Field because a bomb bag is what we're trying to deduce here. So the alternative entrance would be via Lake Hylia, in which we need a scale. We haven't seen a scale yet. So if we find a scale that's not locked behind bombs, oh no, Grimm's accidentally pulled out his blue fire instead of a bomb. We've all done it.
It's tried to scoop it back.
Trying to catch it like a bug.
Yeah.
Accidentally spilled out, and you're just like on your hands and knees trying to like rope it back into your path. It's not going to happen. So yes, the way that we can confirm the bomb bag is Wave a Hero is if a scale is available to us and it's not bomb locked, or vice versa. I think I got the wrong way around. Long story short, if we find a scale and it's not bomb locked, then the bomb bag in the graveyard isn't Wave a Hero.
I don't think we will, though.
I'll be impressed if it made sense.
Fairly sure that the bomb bag will be the way of the hero. Unless... Because, again, there's not much left in logic without finding bomb. Everything that LePlopeur is doing needs bombs and needs a bonus song.
Oh yeah, there's also the case of a third bomb bag, yeah.
Yeah. But again, we are very much low on logical checks that wouldn't need.
Yeah, we're not particularly bountiful in checks that are Sphere Zero, so
no.
Yeah, it's looking very much like the bomb bag is our Wave a Hero in the graveyard. The main is a foolish location. Zelda's River. Oh my god, I said it again. Zora's River had fire arrows.
Yeah, Wave the Hero Zora's River for fire arrows, which we can only assume is for Stone Spirit at this stage, because Haunted Wasteland had nothing. Composer Grave had nothing.
Gerudo Training Grounds is Wave a Hero, which is why LePlopeur is here. But I will admit, I would have at least gone into Spirit Temple to see if your key locked as adult. Dampe... No, wait, it was...
The Shield Grave.
It was the Shield Grave, yeah,
Shield
so... So, Sphere Zero.
Frogs 2 is a slingshot, and it's the
not
only
dead.
slingshot that we know of. For a Baron Medallion Deku.
It's very likely that Slingshot is our first one.
Sphere Zero bombs should be Way of the Hero as long as they don't require bombs. So it doesn't matter if there is a Sphere 1 bomb bag, as long as it's not bomb locked, the first bomb bag won't be Way of the Hero.
Yeah, because, so for example, say you go to Kakariko Village as adult and Andrew gives you the bomb bag. You might think to yourself, okay, Kakariko's Way of a Hero for the bomb bag. But if you find a scale in the graveyard, and then as child you go to Lake Hylia and a bomb bag is where Router's letter should be, technically that bomb bag is Sphere 1. But because the bomb itself, the bomb bag you got in Kakariko isn't necessarily locking the other bomb bag behind. just because that bomb bag in Lake Hylia is one sphere above or below. How does it stack? Is it above or below? Either way, further, one sphere further in the logic doesn't necessarily mean that the sphere 0 bomb bag has to be Wave a Hero.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, that's right.
And Chaos bringing up a great point. There's a chance that Fire Arrows is Wave a Hero just to complete Spirit's Temple.
Yep, there is that chance.
Which is why I would at least
we know that there is
magic locked checks.
Yeah, we know that there is a strength Wave the Hero. Even though 30 strength, 30 skulls was available, strength on Dodongos is Wave the Hero. So that means strength 2 is needed for something.
Yes, okay, so we're about to find out if strength 2 is hard required. We're not going to get a definite answer right now, but we could get confirmation.
Well, there's another bow, and it's not for that.
So, where was our initial bow?
Milo's house.
Aha, yes. Oh, there's 30 skulls for Grim.
There's one key.
Okay, one key.
There's a long shot.
The long shot.
Okay, well, that's definitely the GTG Way the Hero, and directly locked behind strength, and the Stone of Agony. So, Water Temple, now completely doable.
That means that logically a Pona song was required.
So, all we are looking for is Din's Fire. Of course, light arrows as well, but in terms of items that we won't get in, it's just Din's Fire.
We have fire arrows.
Fire arrows has not locked anything yet. So fire arrows could simply be in the map chest of Spirit, or in some perverse world, fire arrows unlock our slingshot of Prox 2, which would be simply incredible.
Light arrows in the graveyard would be bad news for my neighbors because I'm gonna pop off, and it's what 11:30 at night.
Yeah,
so
it's getting late. Right, I need to nip away for 1 second.
Okay. While you nip away, we can commentate on GrimmFairy having a troublesome time getting across the Scap here, which is something I struggle with too as well, honestly. I am informed that there's a reliable way of making this jump, but I've yet to execute it myself. Again, this is one of the disadvantages to not having hover boots. Now the thing is, because the boss key was so early, they're not going to be able to... Well, Grimm might not be able to deduce that hover boots are required to fight Volvagia. Hover boots are on child fishing. Excuse me. Unfortunately for GrimmFairy, he did go to Lake Hylia as a child as part of his opener. The problem was he didn't have enough rupees to do child fishing. So horrible turn of events for GrimmFairy here. Volvagia has actually ended up on the one hole you don't want her to appear. As you saw by Volvagia's animation there, Volvagia took damage above the ground, meaning that Volvagia is now going to start going through cycles. Okay, if LePlopeur found anything in the maze, I didn't notice. I haven't been watching him. I've been observing this really unfortunate cycle for GrimmFairy. Oh yeah, that's another facet to the quick curl I mentioned earlier. So the hitbox for Volvagia underground changes depending on which hole Volvagia flies into.
I'm not seeing our light orb on Plopper's tracker, so I assume he's...
Well, we were just commentating on the unfortunate cycle that GrimmFairy got on Volvagia.
Oh, wait. Did Grimm die?
Grimm took a while getting over to the boss Thorn, and when he did, Volvagia appeared right in front of him, so he couldn't get the clean, quick kill.
Ah.
And we suspect Grimm doesn't know that when Volvagia flies out and comes back into a hole, that is the hole you need to start bombing. It's not going to be the one she flies into during the cutscene. Yeah, the quick kill was certainly possible. Interesting to note here, if Grimm definitely doesn't feel up to fighting Volvagia again, he does have the wallet.
Yep.
Could come back out and grind rupees. Farm rupees, sorry, not grind. farm rupees to buy a golden tunic. Grimm's looking fairly confident. Okay, what's in this chest?
And 5 rupees, center chest. So nothing else in GTG. Long shot is definitely a worthwhile find. Let's go to the water temple.
So another thing to add there as well, if strength 3 is locked behind the long shot, that still satisfies the Dodongo's cabin strength as being way the hero. Because that means that you could not find another strength to get that long shot in GTG. And once again, Volvagia being a bit of a bitch and popping up right under Link's nose. We are getting a toilet check from LePlopeur's side. Makes sense. You do all of GTG and you find out if toilet is a key or an item. You can see that LePlopeur has done all of the left side of the maze and has 2 keys remaining. Means they have 9 in total, which means there can only be an item in the toilet. This makes me wonder if LePlopeur is unaware of the fire arrows being
I don't think they're unaware. I just think they still
wanting to.
They still need 2 things. So I think without Farore's wind, you just get this last check.
Ice arrows do BGS. Well, I did not know that actually.
I don't think they do.
Okay, right. One of the junk hints, maybe. Just feeding fake news into other gossip stones. They say that the economy is booming. Ice do 4 times damage only during flight. What an odd thing to add to the script. Red rupees. Okay, so that is GTG fully explored, and all we found is a long shot. I say all we found, that is a good thing to find.
Yep, and there's only 3 items left. That's definitely one of the things you want to find earliest. This water temple over and done with. Nothing in the toilet, of course.
The biggest problem we have here is that all this does is open up the map even more, meaning GrimmFairy even less likely to find those hover boots.
Yeah, really, really unlikely at this stage.
It's just the worst feeling, isn't it? Because you do the Gerudo Valley into Lake Hylia check to make sure you don't orphan those checks.
Yep.
And any other seed, Grimm doesn't get punished. But unfortunately, the one seed where it did matter, it was his Challenge Cup bracket match. Okay, we're gonna get a look at the Crater Fairy. I believe we've already seen this on LePlopeur's side.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think it's just a Dekuna.
Hey, so nothing's gonna stop LePlopeur from getting the boss key in Water Temple. It's entirely full clearable. They have Song of Time. They have Long Shot. They have Strength. You wouldn't think it'd matter, but it matters. The amount of times I've come here without Strength, tried to do checks, felt like an absolute idiot. Although it doesn't compare to getting to the top level and trying to play Zelda's Lullaby to lower the water, and then the cutscene doesn't activate, and you're just sat there looking at Zelda's Lullaby and like, oh, I don't have Zelda's Lullaby.
Oh god, I've dipped water so many times without ZL thing.
Oh, something rare happened to me today in a race. I decided to dip Water Temple looking for a hookshot. Now, just think about that. And I didn't have Serenade either, which means
Wait.
I walked all the way to Lake Hylia. Sorry, go on.
No, I was just like say, wait, did you actually? What were the circumstances here? But yeah, if you manage to realize, then yeah.
No, that's the problem. I didn't realize I walked all the way to Lake Hylia. This is like one of those seeds where hookshot is just nowhere to be found, and you're desperate, and your usual comfortable routes just flung out the window. You're on new territory. So I'm like, okay, I don't have Serenade. No one has Serenade at this point, so maybe I can sneak ahead by going to Lake Hylia. And I dive down to the water, and I quickly realize I can't do a thing here.
So, Grimm heading to GTG is going to find a long shot fairly soon.
Suppose if we do get LePlopeur in for an interview, I don't know. I don't know if either of these want to interview afterwards, but I do want to ask LePlopeur why he went to Ice Cabin before coming to GTG. Because they didn't actually do oh wait, they did do horseback archery, didn't they?
Yeah.
Did they? We did. Did they find anything?
Nope. Nothing on a horseback archery.
I mean, I'm going to assume it's just being conservative, making sure that when they go to Gerudo Fortress, they don't orphan the horseback archery. It's a lot of efforts to make for 2 checks. Especially when Gerudo Fortress is unhinted.
Good kill there by Grimm. Guess the real question for Plopper here is, when they find the boss key, how deep do they keep going?
I haven't been paying attention to how many keys and items they found. I do remember seeing them pick up a recovery heart, so we found at least one of the items. This chest more likely to be an item, given that it's locked behind keys, and it is a key. So
keys. So that is 4 keys available. 2 keys going into the room there, with 2 more.
So Morpher is more likely to be a key. Sorry, to be an item. Also, Grimm doesn't have any arrows, and they've gone into GTG.
Oh yikes! Resource management today for Grimm. Not been ideal. Low on bombs for DC, no arrows
Really
here.
inefficient, yeah. I suppose for anyone watching, there is a arrow refill in the room where you're fighting the Gerudo guard. Yeah, the guard. There's 3 pots in the corner. One of them has an arrow refill. One of them has a heart, and the other one is 20 rupees. Pretty convenient. So LePlopeur was trying to hover walk across, and then must have. I'm guessing they didn't equip hover boots in time because they just jumped down into the lower level. Didn't opt to just go through the central pillar. Really wanted to hold on to his keys. Here we go, round 2. Of course, he does have long shots. He could have just done that, but where's the fun in doing things the intended way? Okay, but the question is, can you do it twice in a row? We're about to find out. And he got it. It's not particularly hard. I might have ramped it up to sound like it's a hard trick. It's really not. It's another key. We are knee deep in keys right now. Can't move for small keys in Water Temple. I suppose a quick overview on key logic in Water Temple for anyone who's concerned. It applies mostly if you're trying to find items in Water Temple rather than the boss key. But there are 6 keys in total, but only 5 locks. Now I can't remember if it's the devs who removed a lock or added the key. I don't remember. Either way, there's more keys than there are locked doors in here. Excuse me. And for all the chests in Water Temple that are not locked behind keys, there can only ever be a maximum of 2 items found in those chests. If you find 2 items in chests that are not locked behind keys, then everything else has to be a key, be it a small key or a boss key. Right now, we found 1 item, at least. I haven't been paying too much attention. It was a recovery heart. So, the information we get here is if LePlopeur finds an item in this upcoming chest, it means that all the remaining non-key locked chests will be a key of some kind. Which is why if you're looking for items in Water Temple, you're more than likely going to find an item in a chest which is key locked. So the boss key chest and the Dark Link chest, the river chest, well, the one locked behind Song of Time, and Morpho itself. I believe that was another key LePlopeur has found. Oh, Grimm getting sniped in mid-air. Hit by the anti-air for a second time! You're not going to win your matchups if you don't learn from your previous failures. There we go. Waited a few seconds before getting the jump. LePlopeur now making his way towards, you assume, Dark Link. I didn't see if they got the boss key. I doubt they did. I guess we'll find out now. No, we didn't. Okay, so we're going to go for Dark Link. It was a piece of heart. Okay, right, so... Like I said, having an understanding of key logic for Water Temple only really benefits you if you're hunting for items. Because if you're just looking for the boss key, well, the boss key can be anywhere.
See if it's behind Darkland today. Or Fabled River Chest.
So, anti-clockwise in GTG, yeah, I'm going to be that guy who says anti-clockwise, even though he says counter. Going anti-clockwise in GTG is a common play if you have Song of Time and you're not looking for many items. Because it's more dense with checks than the left side, like immediately. Like as you get past the Silver Rupee room, you'll find more chests, but with Song of Time, like you get free checks very quickly. And if you go moding inside GTG, you're more than likely to find your item quicker doing anti-clockwise than you will clockwise.
Yeah, I typically go that route if I have Song. I'll only go that far. Go back.
Biggest issue with anti-clockwise, of course, is that you cannot actually continue around GTG. You will have to either save quit or make your way back to the lobby. Okay, boss key was on Dark Link. Rightfully so, LePlopeur is going to actually check the river chest.
Yeah, I think if you got all the way here, there's not much left in water. You just finish it off.
Okay, so key logic here would help you because you know not to check the dragon chest. Because the dragon chest has to be a small key. Is it? Wait. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Because we found 2 items and the dragon chest is a non-key locked chest. And there can only ever be a maximum of 2 items in those chests. So, yeah. Definitely a small key.
Yep, and not going to do it. So, oh wait.
To add to your point, Bitsy, doing toilet as part of that is a bit bizarre.
Toilet's last every time.
Yeah, I would not typically do toilet unless like Song of Time is Way the Hero. In which case, interesting that LePlopeur isn't just going down and shooting with the hookshot.
Yeah, wasting a good amount of time trying to be a little consistent with shooting this here. Wasted a lot of time.
EU aim is just draining with every hour of the day. Oh, that's a neat little side hop there, actually. Okay, GrimmFairy about to pick up the long shot. Yeah, and yet there we go, small key on the river chest. No, the dragon chest, sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and mark long shot. Because I doubt we're gonna do another instance of dropping everything and doing something completely different. Oh, I should do deep fire. No, Grim, come back.
Sudden inspiration to go and... That'd be amazing, but unfortunately not.
There we go, long shot for GrimmFairy. You have to say, LePlopeur hasn't really put a foot wrong in this race. However, we're quickly approaching 3 hours, and it hasn't been an old dungeon seed. In times like these, even though you've conceivably done everything right, you haven't done an unnecessary check, maybe except for Ice Cavern. But just given how long we are into the seed, time-wise, do you feel behind? Because I often wonder, like, the longer a seed goes on, the more opportunity there is for your opponent to, like, find something you didn't. So maybe you feel like you're doing well, but the reality is your opponent managed to do something which completely confounds any logic. Oh hey, there's a Kokiri sword. That might convince Grimm to do child fishing, but I doubt it. You always feel behind. Interesting. In Plopper's case, Ice Cavern is about the only dungeon I feel like they knew, like, coming out of Ice Cavern, it's like, yeah, I could have avoided that. But not really put a foot wrong. So I wouldn't, if I was in LePlopeur's shoes, I wouldn't feel behind. But as you approach the 3-hour mark, there comes a point where the line is so blurred, you really don't know where you are.
Just a heart piece on Shoot the Sun.
Especially if it's not all dungeons. Like, we're starting to get to the point now where going over 3 hours in a seed where it's not all dungeons begins to feel slow, which is crazy. But that's just how it feels these days, I guess. If you see race results and you see like first place finished with a time over 3 hours, you think, wow, that must be in like old dungeons or something.
Like, this was an old dungeons nightmare.
So Plopper making sure to full clear Lake Hylia, which I can get behind. You don't have Serenade. You're not coming back here anytime soon. You have the money. Which is half a battle, as we found out. Wow. This lack of hover boots is really killing Grimm here, isn't it?
I mean, it's not actually played too much into right now. Like, the only thing that's not helped was the fact that Plopper got Zelda's Lullaby early. Yeah.
I'm saying here, GrimmFairy tried to make a jump, but fell down. And with hover boots, it's just a simple D-pad press and you're across. Little things like that just eat into the time even more.
Alright, now if we find a scale on Lab Dive. Not Lab Dive.
Yeah, that's not possible.
Lab on the roof.
Roof, yeah. Lab roof?
That would be amazing.
Oh yes, that would be within... Oh, yeah. Bottom of the well is where we found the hookshot. And it wasn't locked behind bombs. Okay, that's a bomb refill. A lab. For the way the hero to point us in the direction of all dungeons, yes. Oh, GrimmFairy really showing us how it's done. Horseback archery, over 1500 at the first time of asking. Not a huge fan of shooting pots at the start, but if you can hit that target at the end consistently, it's a great play.
Yeah, I'm more of a shoot pots at the start guy myself. Shoot all 7, go for the target at the end of the first row, smash as many in as we can.
This target at the end here is just too small for my liking. I prefer to just spam the big one as you come towards here. And if you don't get enough, then the pots are like your insurance policy. Ooh, they can make it with... Oh!
By 10 points.
I feel like that's how horseback archery always plays out. Like, you do phenomenally well in your first time round, and then you get complacent. The second time round, your joystick suddenly feels heavier, and I think that's being looked at, Bitsy, but the problem is with Dompe Racing, you have a freestanding item and a chest, whereas with Horseback Archery, it's the same source that gives you both items. And I don't think there's a convenient way of making a check stack 2 upon 1, if that makes sense. Especially if it's triggered by an event. I don't know the terminology. I feel like this is more your domain, Jim, than mine.
Huh.
Okay, points taken now.
Okay, well, there's a bottle.
We're beginning to see new checks purely on the fact that well, I don't know where I was going with that. I wanted to see Spirit Temple a lot earlier than this. This Fire Arrows Wave of Hero is really like all my curiosity is just focused on this.
Straight to map chest. Let's go. Foolish locations are Zora Domain, Deku Tree, and Goron City today.
Oh, and of course, Market Wave of Hero. It's going to be for Iron Boots, but Big Poe as well with Eponas.
Although Eponas wasn't directly a way of the...
No, but Market is. Okay, so if we find Strength 3 now... Well, there's a giant wallet. If we find Strength 3 now, then that confirms the Strength Wave of Hero in Dodongo's cabin as being for access into Spirit's Temple. Well, no, it's more so to confirm that your strength is strength locked.
If this is a boss key, I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna scream.
Oh, if it's a key in general.
Oh my god.
Here we go.
Oh
okay.
My god,
It's happening. So, yeah, I'm with LePlopeur here. You go further into Spirit Temple. You get out of the lobby. You go as far into the temple as you can.
What the hell is this? Is this all just for the slingshot?
If you're rooting for Grimm, you kind of have to hope it is.
To be fair though, like, there's not many places left to check anyway.
No. Fire arrows were in
Zora River.
Zora River. My brain
only item that filled our Way of the Hero in Zora River.
Location called Melrose's brain. It's like, it's Zelda's River. Shut up.
I think if I'm LePlopeur here, I ignore all of the early child checks at this point. I just go further in.
Yeah.
Grab that boss key. But then you don't have the mirror shield, so there's not much you can do anyway. Can't beat Twin Rover.
Well, we know that the Silver Gauntlet's chest is dead. Sorry, it's the boss key, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the boss key. Yeah. Oh, hello, Scale.
That's bomb locked. Is it? Hang on.
Yes, it is bomb locked. It's unless we find a boomerang, it's bomb locked. Yeah.
We need a child projectile, don't we?
Yes.
We don't have. Okay, so. So that's a Scale. It's not bomb locked, but it is slingshot / boomerang locked.
No, getting past the Stalfos room as child is you need a slingshot, a boomerang, or bomb choose.
The bomb choose a trick. It's not within the logic.
Are you sure?
Fairly sure, yeah.
Like, because that chest isn't bomb locked. It's just behind sling or boom.
Yeah, it's projectile locked, technically. I think for anything to be in logic beyond the climb, you need both the adult and the child to have projectile weapons. And for adults, of course, strength 2. That is true as well. It could... But then again, if there's any keys beyond the room with the Beamos and the Anubis, then at that point it is bomb locked because you need bombs to progress. Like, you need to kill the Beamos.
Stream chugging for anyone else?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm getting some frames, hello frames dropped on the popular side.
That's Feroz Wind.
That's nice to have. Because we haven't got light towers yet. Go up, see Ganondorf, plop it right there. And... oh, good. So yeah, anything, if there's a key beyond this room... oh wait, let me think this one through. So anything beyond here is bomb locks by virtue of the fact that you need the bomb to blow up the Beamos. And even if there's keys back here, the vanilla boss key chest is bomb locked because the game assumes worst case scenario with key usage. The point is, like, we got Requiem so early that feasibly you could get that as child. The only thing getting between us and knowing that it's required. Oh, there's some light arrows.
Yeah, it's starting quite hard. Not sure if Math Girl's about to maybe give this a refresh. I'll ping her on Discord.
So I have a suspicion that satisfies our fire arrows, maybe, hero.
I'm not sure.
Because they got keys from the map chest.
That's 3 key locked, right? Because
yes,
it's only 3 key locked.
3.
But we've still got 3 keys.
Getting the boss key anyway.
Yeah, that's fair. They might continue to finish off Spirit, to be honest.
I forgot to track the Shadow Medallion for LePlopeur. My apologies. Why is it the medallions and the stones are the hardest thing to track? You have such a run-up to it, and yet... I always forget. Times like these, you want Toxic Oxygen to be watching.
Huh.
Or B. Luigi, someone like that to just pick apart of the logic in their head so you don't have to. Here's another instance of the lack of hover boots hurting GrimmFairy. Having to do this room the logical intended way.
Oh god, yeah. You know what?
Actually, then again, they have long shots. I think it's possible to, with your iron boots, go into the water, and it's one of them.
I once, in a seed, I fell down off this bit into the water, and I'm that used to doing it with iron boots. I didn't know how to get out, and so on iron boots, hover boots. I literally didn't know how to get out. I was like, wait, am I soft? What's going on here? It took me a little...
swimming around
it took me ages to realise that I need to fucking put the iron boots on and, like, hook shot out of it. So confused.
I've certainly done that as well. It's when the penny drops, isn't
it?
There's
Dins.
Fire. That's definitely fire arrow.
That is fire arrow locked. There we go. That's go mode.
That's go mode for LePlopeur, yeah.
So Spirit Temple stocking some real good stuff today.
Shame we didn't find the mirror shield before we found Din's fire, but that's the way it goes. Okay, so yeah, well, yeah, we haven't seen the other scale and we haven't found the other bomb bag, so I guess we assume bomb bag is where the hero.
I mean, it has to be. There's nothing in.
Yeah.
There's nothing in the Sun Song grave, so has to be at this point.
There's one thing I want to just reiterate. Where's the slingshot?
Frogs 2.
Yeah, but can we?
Nope, it's the only one is on Frogs 2.
But that means, like, logically, we would need Boomerang and Mirror Shield by now, surely.
Could be in Shadow Temple.
Oh, true, yeah. There's no reason why it couldn't be here. If we find a scale in here, that would confirm it too. I guess this is a part of the race where we just wind down and talk about the seed with what better than the longest, most irritating dungeon to go mode.
I'd argue that's Forest Temple.
Well, I think it's dependent on whether or not you get all the keys you need before you get on the boat.
But at least there's like the chance you can go mode for Shadow Temple. Forest Temple, you've essentially got to check every chest. You've got to push 1,000 blocks. You have to shoot 1,000,000 toads.
Quite recently, I've been finding myself doing Forest Temple and Shadow Temple back to back, and that does feel like an eternity.
Yeah, it's a long half an hour at least.
Because like I always come into it thinking, okay, cool, there's plenty of time for me to think about my next move, and like I've got as far as like halfway through the forest courtyard, and I've already thought about everything I wanted to think about. So you're like begrudgingly going into Shadow Temple, like, okay, fine, I guess I'll do Shadow Temple, but it's like you have to do Shadow Temple, you can't avoid it. It's like, oh, if you insist, game. Going to a birthday party where you don't actually like the person whose birthday it is. Okay, fine. This is my obligation visit. Yes, we know it's gonna happen. We're gonna get to the boat, and they're gonna still need to find the boss key and the small key. And they're both not gonna be in the oh god, what do you call that room? The one with the spike traps that come towards you.
Spike traps coming towards you?
The one at the end of Shadow Temple. Din's fire room. I mean,
oh yeah, I guess that's just Din's fire room.
Of course, right.
Wouldn't...
Why am I not finding like the most intuitive name for these places? I always have to think of like. Oh no, Grim.
Struggling with this.
No. I mean, there's no way we can really spin this into saying that there's a chance for Grim. It really...
No, absolutely not.
Like, as much as it really sucks as a spectacle, because we sort of said within the first 20 minutes that, like, if something's here, then Grim has to, like, like Grimm's really fighting to come back into this race. And it's just been that for the last 2.5 hours, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's kind of been over every 15 minutes in. It's a real shame.
Like Grimm could have saved time by perhaps skipping ice caving and not going back to the well while they were halfway through doing Forest Temple. So little things like that could have got Grimm back into this, but it's one of those things where you really don't want to get into people's heads that an opener can make or break a race for you. But this is just one of those instances where money management at the beginning of the game like amplified itself further and further you got into the seed. We cannot access the spoiler log. That's something only the admin of the site can do, and they prefer not to. Oh, there's the other scale.
There's the scale.
That bomb bag is with a hero. Well, pending where the third bomb bag is, of course, but the scales are bomb locked, I assume. We assume the one in what's it called? Where was the first scale?
Child side spirit climb.
I'm so thankful you can remember this, because I'm being really crap at this. There's nothing in a slingshot in the Re-Dead grave in graveyard.
I hope it's a slingshot. It'd be great. Slingshot locked behind Sun Song 2 ways.
Oh yeah, as we were saying earlier, the admins don't really like opening spoiler logs on race seeds because of encryption security concerns, which is totally understandable. It is actually pretty phenomenal how we haven't found a single slingshot.
Or we can go mode shadow. Got enough keys. I think. Am I right? Or do we need 4 at this point?
So there's this room coming up. There's one to get into the wind tunnel room, and there's one. No, we still need one more.
Oh damn! Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot this one as a key as well.
Yeah, I tend to forget this one a fair bit.
Oh, could still see it. We've got the boss key. Only.
Oh, do we have a boss key?
Yeah, just got the boss key. Yeah.
Oh, good times. Okay, so if this is a small key, then
if this is a small key, this is the fastest.
Yeah, you can afford to enjoy this Shadow Temple.
Nope, unfortunate. Stack of cash. Hey, Levi. Yeah, logically speaking, this race is fucking bananas.
I've had fun following it.
It's been a good one, but it's... Oof.
Yeah, these are the seeds I really enjoy, just because at one point you're juggling all this logic while you're still trying to put on a good show of execution.
Yeah. Basically, the long and short of it, Fire Arrow is a way of thinking for Spirit Temple key logic to get Din's Fire from the boss key chest. Oh, yeah, it's the Green Rupee. LePlopeur picking it up. What a champ.
Objectively the worst play, but well, okay. It's his victory lap, I suppose. I assume this is an emulator thing, but the sun glare in Shadow Temple, you don't get that on VC. I know this because I'm watching LePlopeur stream right now, and it is so obnoxious and irritating, that sun glare everywhere. I notice it too, like when people finish and it goes through the scene of what's the name of the light stage?
The light Rauru.
Yeah, something like that, isn't it? Where like it's him telling the other sages to like assemble whatever it is.
Gold
okay.
ornaments.
Well, that's blocked behind strength as well, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, all the logic is now beginning to just fold in on itself and make sense. And yeah, like in the Chamber of Sages, like in the Chamber of Sages, I guess I track that, don't I? There you go. There's your lens of truth. Yeah, there's like a sun glare right behind them, and if you play on an emulator, it like blinds you, but it stays there because the camera's fixed. I've noticed that as well. Oh, he also got this silver, the gold scale, I suppose.
Grim not following the fire arrow logic.
They got a water temple as well. Again, I forgot to check the freaking medallion on his tracker. Oh, we sort of jumped forward in time a little bit there. I don't know if it was just me.
Yeah, just a touch. I think it's just the stream. A little choppy, but seems to have recovered. LePlopeur finally getting his big Ron sword out after struggling with redecks. Oh, his big pose. Good shot. Good shoot.
Nice. Nice indeed. I say for what Grimm lacks in overworld movement, his bow aim is stellar. Which is what every Vandal player wants to hear, right? Bizarre corner of the Vandal Discord where people flex about how good their horseback archery is.
Grotto's been open for a while. Boomerang, let's go.
Oh, this is bomb bag.
That's the boomerang. Let's go.
Wow. Okay. Oh no.
Don't you dare. Don't prelude.
Yeah, here it is. Here we go.
No,
we're going to
Grim.
the belly of a beast.
Double magic.
It's not double magic. Jabu ate my hover boots and we're gonna go get them.
No. Decision time.
This is oh no mode for Grimm.
Going to spirit. It's the right call.
Oh, gold bonus for LePlopeur as well. I forgot.
Yeah, meanwhile, LePlopeur did find this small key, so could go mode shadow a little bit.
So that boomerang was bomb locked, meaning.
It was, yeah.
So that's. Yeah, okay. Wait, where was Hammer's bomb locked to? Yeah, never mind.
No, Hammer wasn't bomb locked.
Wasn't?
No, it was on Song of Storms, Death Mountain Trail.
Okay, well, you could get the hammer with Song of Storms, go to that Tektite Grotto, get the boomerang, and that gets you into Chow's side Spirit Temple.
It does.
So, what the hell? This is just being burst open again.
I doesn't make any sense, though.
It makes for a great conversation. Okay, we've got the time it takes for LePlopeur to get up Ganon's tower and beat Ganon first to try and make sense of why stuff is logic and why it's not. Okay, so where was our Song of Storms?
Sacred Forest Meadow Adult.
We got Minuet as child, didn't we? Oh no, it was in the windmill? No, where was it?
Minuet was in Requiem.
Okay, yeah, and you got Requiem on pretty early, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So you can get that hammer fairly early, and it's not bomb locked. On top of that, Iron Boots were Wave a Hero Market.
Sphere Zero behind Richard.
So yeah, you can get that boomerang pretty early. And do you know what? I think this really boils down to if Childside has a key or not.
Yeah, that's true. Wait, no, it doesn't matter if Childside isn't.
Yeah, I don't think it matters, because you could just go as adult. But if there's no key on Childside, then that confirms that you have to get strength, which is bomb locked behind the Dodongo's cavern. So if there's no keys on Childside, that kind of, we're back to where we were initially. But if there's a key on the Childside, then you can get that scale. Means you can get into Zora domain. Which means you can get that bomb bag in Ice Cavern, as stupid as it sounds. I mean, if we looked at the spoiler log and looked at the playthrough, it would tell us what we already know. It's not going to say what it might. We're just blissfully unaware. Well, let's summarize this race then. Gotta hand it to LePlopeur. Hasn't put a foot wrong all race.
Yeah, honestly, they've not really made any wrong. Execution has been pretty strong.
It's quite phenomenal to think that they're gonna go over 3 hours and 20 minutes, because it hasn't felt like a long seed, has it?
Well, I think the initial, like, the start of the seed was fairly dry. Like, you having to sort of do a lot of overworld checks into eventually finding the hook shot. And that sort of opened up a load of more overworld checks, leaving the cavern for a little while. So, I think a lot of it was dragged out at the start.
I suppose not finding that hammer until quite late. Like, putting off the Dodongo's cavern, there we go. That's the one thing I have to question LePlopeur on. LePlopeur. Why the aversion? Because they didn't go to the Dodongo's cavern for checks, they went looking for skulls.
Alright, well, we're approaching the end of the seed. LePlopeur just has his boss fight to go with Ganondorf, followed by Mean Pig Ganon.
I suppose we can quickly talk about the bracket itself. our round 2 would be a tournament conventional round of 32. So the winner of this goes through into our round of 16.
Mm-hmm.
In which they will be facing off against the winners of tomorrow's match against, I believe, Double Decker and Pink Kitty Rose.
That's right.
There's no keys on Child's side. Okay, then everything's back in logic as we know it. And where is that race being streamed?
That is being streamed on Hell Knight's stream.
Personal stream, yes, okay. My apologies, yep. Tracking's hard. I gotta hand it to trackers.
To be fair, you are doing double duty. Trackers don't have to.
You wouldn't think it's hard, would you? Like, I'm literally watching the match attentively to commentate on it, and when it happens, like, I just have to put my right hand down and click. And yeah, for some reason, that seems impossible to manage. And duty. Anyway, so yeah, I can't tell you when Randomania are going to stream again. We haven't got too many races currently planned, and the ones that are planned, I think, have already been designated. I guess we'll be quiet and say our GGs in chat for LePlopeur, who's going to finish here with a time close to 3 hours and 23 minutes. We'll be just under. So that is a win for LePlopeur. And they will go on to our round of 16, into the round 3. GG LePlopeur.
I'd tell you their official time, but they timed out with IRC a while ago, so...
Oh, we haven't got done yet.
Not yet.
Okay, Grim, here's your chance. Let's go, Grim.
There we go. 3:23:11.
Okay. It was inevitable.
So we shall see. Yeah, Grim immediately forfeit.
And there we have it, your result for this match in round 2 of a Challenge Cup between GrimmFairy and LePlopeur. LePlopeur wins with a time of, what was it, 3 hours and 20...
23:11.
23:11. GrimmFairy finished in second with a did not finish.
See if either of them want to join in for a very quick interview. Yeah, both of them feel like joining, so get them in the race commentary channel.
Okay.
Voilà, je parle sur mon plus bel anglais.
Hey guys, GG.
Yeah, this is Anglais, sorry.
GG.
Congratulations, guys. Great race.
Yeah, that was a really good race. Unlucky Grim. That was a logical nightmare, I want to call that seed. The Fire Arrow Way of the Hero is quite something.
Yeah, that's so. Tell me what that is before I.
So you managed to find light arrows, but you didn't go all the way to the top, and Din's Fire was in the boss key chest. So the Fire Arrow Way of the Hero was for the small key to get past the sort of fifth door. Yeah.
I was thinking that was an all dungeon seed.
It came close. I mean, we're kind of convinced it still is all dungeons for the slingshot on Frogs 2.
Yeah, no one found any of the slingshots in the whole seed, and Deku was a medallion, so logically, it makes sense for Frogs 2.
Yeah, I forgot about it for a moment, but it's
okay. Grim,
hover boots.
Grim,
Okay,
yeah,
so...
the real
Were
heartbreak.
they on child fishing?
It was child fishing. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured. As soon as that happened, I was. Yeah, I had forgotten to pull up my my word pad with my hints that I write down on them, and so I was trying to do that, which caused me to leap off of the thing early on, the near Lake Hylia, because otherwise I usually go to that open grotto and then take the owl to the back. And when I screwed that up, I went, oh crap! All right, well I guess I gotta do Gerudo Valley for timing.
Oh, okay.
But
So the
have,
initial.
But I knew I didn't want to do that because I knew that I probably wasn't gonna have enough rupees, and then I just, yeah. I was like, when I left that check orphaned, I was like, I would love to see a silver scale sometime soon, so I can like route that back in, and it never showed up.
Yeah.
I felt like everything I did except for making sure I got to 30 skulls because of the Dodongo Way, the hero for the strength upgrade was horrible logic wise. Like,
Well, eventually we found it was strength because the other strength was in Shadow Temple, of course, locked behind Strength 2, which was where Din's Fire was in Spirit's Temple.
So it was the room with all the fire slugs, right?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I was thinking the entire time. I was like, well, if it's there, I just lose the seed automatically.
So I actually... Sorry, were you going to say something, Jim?
No, I was just going to say it's really unfortunate that one thing you missed, and that LePlopeur, you routed in Valley and Lake right after. You did the same route, just Grim, you did full Valley Lake, and then Plopper went straight to Owl, and then 3 Song into Valley and Lake. So we knew fairly quickly that it was hover boots on child fishing. But then
but I almost skipped it because I thought that Valley Lake is most of the time not really worth it anymore. So I thought that when I was in the tower of the ranch, I could have just played Requiem to get the song over there and then say WAP and do Deki Tree. I thought about it, but I'd rather play safe than just lose for something silly like that. So I just went Valley and Lake because I didn't get any hints for them.
Well, this is one thing I wanted to ask. I had a look at your previous races, and assuming you don't have the rupees to do early Deku, both of you had a tendency to go into the valley and do the Valley and Lake Hylia loop into the market. And both of you, Grim, you said you were actually intending on doing Open Grotto into Owl. LePlopeur, you actually did do Open Grotto into Owl. Is this a conscious choice for this race in particular, or is that just how your opener is evolving now?
Well, lately I've been doing Open Grotto into Owl most of the time. It's just that most of my recent races are just with sanities and stuff like that, or multi-world. So I just play safe in those cases and do Valley into Lake. But
so
even in qualifier, I were doing Open Grotto into O, but I'm still doing Valley Lake after the ranch because I just want to make sure there's nothing there, and I don't want to lose because once I skipped it, and of course Valley got a hook shot and it was not hinted. So since then, I'm just doing the regular ranch into Valley Lake.
Okay, then.
Unless I got a Baron hint for Valley or for Lake.
Yeah, that was... Sorry, Grim, go on.
No, I was just going to say, I've started, in regards to what I normally do, I was just doing my normal routing for this race. I probably would have done that Open Grotto into Owl and then started the 3 Child Song, but after, what's it called? After Lon Lon Ranch, I think I would have ran out of Lon Lon and then gone Gerudo Valley, Lake Hylia into Deku Tree, and Zarya's Song, which is what I did in the last race. Well, it's a couple of races I think that I've done. just because that allows me to make sure that I've got the rupee count. And if for some reason the game front loads with items, sometimes I'll choose not to do Gerudo Valley.
Yeah, we were sort of trying to think of ways which would push you back into the lake, but see, nothing this seed was getting anyone close to Child Lake ever again. Jabu was a stone, no scale early, Zora's domain was barren. It's like, man, there was no serenade, so there was just like nothing in the world was going to point anyone back to the Child Lake at that point.
Gonna take you, Grim, to find the Kokiri sword and joke about child fishing being in logic.
I thought about it actually, because that used to be a thing.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't need, because I don't know if you guys noticed, I hesitated because I was like, do I pick it up? And then I was like, well,
okay.
Or anything, because the child fishing, it's not even child fishing, and that was just yet another reminder of, well, that it better not be anything, or else I have just lost.
I'm interested
because I think if I picked that up really early, like when I was first there, I think that I probably hit Spirit Temple shortly after finishing Water Temple.
I'm wanting to ask LePlopeur, from our perspective, you didn't really do a single thing wrong. Nothing you did sort of would make us as runners feel like we were behind if we were in your position. Maybe outside of Ice Cavern, but for the most part, you must have felt pretty good throughout the whole race. But with that said, as the time creeps over 3 hours and it's not a no dungeon seed, how are you feeling? Because, as I mentioned earlier, your routing was efficient and was sensible, and everything you did got you progression in the end. And yet, the timer was... the seed went by so quickly. Like, by the time I saw it was 3 hours, I couldn't believe it. So did you feel ahead because of how good your routing was, or did you feel behind because the timer doesn't lie?
I felt pretty behind pretty much the whole seed, because I made quite a lot of mistake in terms of execution. So I think that Grim will take the lead on, since we kind of got the same execution. So I felt behind for pretty much the whole seed. I felt pretty good when I did the well instead of DC, because you got the hook shot in there. But I almost skipped DC, but I've done it for the skulls.
Yeah, that is one thing I wanted to touch on. Yeah.
Strength. But if it wasn't for the skulls, I would have skipped it, and that would have put me way behind.
Yeah, that was something.
To me, the first logical strength was 30 skull, and that's why I kind of rushed it when I got the hook. And
you were going.
It was, and but in the end, yeah. And that DC way of the hero was a domain, so no way I could have got it earlier since it was barren.
Yeah, for sure. You were going really hard on skulls quite early.
Well, you both went hard on skulls, but LePlopeur, yours made sense. Grim, we need to talk. So, you're in Forest Temple, and you get as far as the well, and then out of nowhere, you play Prelude.
Yep.
And start doing a whole bunch of checks other than finishing Forest Temple. What happened? What was the thinking behind that?
Well, I didn't have a shield.
Okay, right.
I had a shield before I went through the rest of Forest Temple for crouch stabs. And if I remember correctly, we had just gotten ZL, or I had just gotten ZL through all of the adult stuff I had done. And some of the way the heroes, I think I knew that there was fire arrows in Zora River, and that was the only way the hero at the time. And so I was thinking, okay, so that has to be something. So I can grab the song in the graveyard, which is Way of the Hero. I can do the check with the flame storage on the Deku stick, Way of the Hero. I can also buy the Hylian shield as a kid, and I do have Minuet. So I can easily just warp back here, and I had completed the first part, so it's not like that circle before you head into the block pushing room.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it wasn't. I didn't feel like I had to run through a bunch of more rooms to get back to where I was in forest. So, yeah, just unfortunate that like all of my thoughts in regards to how the logic of the seed was going to play out from Way of the Hero hints didn't pay off. Like I kind of spent a lot of time running around doing one or two single checks because I was like, well, this is Way of the Hero location and something's got to be there, and then it wasn't. Yeah, that fire arrows really blew me off course.
We're just taken back by how abrupt it was, frankly. Because like, if Forest was a stone dungeon, it'd make complete sense. But the fact is a medallion, it could have been something you put off until you finished Forest. So we wondered if like this is me, I kept saying like a light bulb was just gone off in your head and you were chasing that idea until you were satisfied.
Yeah, kind of.
And
I've tried to go through Forest Temple without a shield before, and it's not.
Oh, it's not fun, is it? No, it sucks.
Like, I want to get a shield. I'm not picking one up. Like, I didn't get lucky picking one up out of an item. And I had Forest Temple wasn't Way of the Hero, even though it was a medallion. And I had open Way of the Heroes to check, and so I just was like, I'm gonna do those. I can do those while grabbing the shield and then come back, and I don't feel like I'm losing a ton of time in Forest.
Going back to LePlopeur, I'm really interested in this decision to skip DC. Almost so, the only reason why you went into Dodongo's Cavern was for skulls, because admittedly you didn't get the hint saying that Dodongo's Cavern was Way of a Hero until after you'd done Dodongo's Cavern. So, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
still,
I tend to skip Stone DC because
it's even more perplexing because Bombag was Way of the Hero.
Yeah, I thought about it, but there's so many bomb checks in the game that what are the odds that it's for really DC and not something else? Like,
yeah.
So yeah, most of the time I'm skipping DC Stone because most of the time when I got it on solo seed and stuff like that, it was completely empty without any Baron hints, of course.
So this is something you do regularly. This wasn't something you actively decided to do for this race. Okay.
And yet again, if it wasn't for the skulls, I would have skipped it until I got the hint in domain. So.
Well, that was your failsafe, wasn't it? The hint, yeah. Like, even if you had skipped Dodongo's Cavern, you would have found the hint eventually. And it takes no time whatsoever getting there and doing it, so yeah. Me. The decision to do Ice Cavern before you went to GTG were you really eager to get Epona's song so that you didn't orphan horseback archery, or is that just...
Yes, it was just for that. I think about skipping it, but then I thought I'm still missing 3 items. What if one of them is on the horseback archery? So rather than do all the way back over there, once I've done Ice Cavern, I'd rather do Ice Cavern first and then just do a reverse wasteland because it's faster and I can check wasteland on the way. So I just went that way and could have skipped it, of course, but you never know.
Yeah, that makes sense. Grim, did the thought of doing Jabu cross your mind at all when you went into that grotto and you found the boomerang?
Oh yeah, no, that was actually where I was probably gonna go after I full cleared fire. Because I honestly actually, if this is why I'm kind of frustrated, is because like if I had gotten the hover boots and only had the one item left, I probably would have done that final mirror, check you can do in spirit without mirror shield, which was dense. But I wound up thinking, all right, this has to be an all dungeon seed. I gotta go find mirror shield. It's probably in Fire Temple. And then after that, I would have gone to Jabu, and then I would have gone back to spirit. I was so thrown off. I was just so thrown off by the fire arrows for the longest time.
It was such a strange one. Such a strange one. It's not something that I don't think anyone's used to seeing fire arrow Way of the Hero, especially a bloody key.
Well,
yeah, that kind of upset me on the streams too. That's why I also put Faust Wind in Spirit, just in case it was behind Mirror Shield that I didn't have. So I just went all the way to the top, and I thought, if it's boss key chest, it's okay. If it's either the chest after or Trinuera, I'm kind of screwed up.
It's really unfortunate. Yeah, it's
got no idea where Mirror Shield can be. Didn't get Boomerang, didn't get Slingshot. So Child Spirit wasn't even logic for me. So I thought that so I just put Faust Wind just in case, but I got pretty lucky on this one too.
And we figured out there would have been no keys on Child's side anyway, so the Boomerang in the Tektite Grotto, while it was available for you to go as Child into Spirit Temple and get those checks, without the key you couldn't progress. So the fire arrows were pretty much hard. Actually, no, let me think about this. Logically hard, not hard required, but logically required just for keys alone.
Yeah,
and I guess with Din's Fire, I mean, actually, no, that of course that's the case with Din's Fire. It has to be all the keys, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The light arrows, we were kind of debating it.
At that point, I was just hoping it was not another Origins for Sunsong, for either the grave or just a silly slingshot.
It was really looking like that at some point.
Yeah, so and I guess that's all the questions I have regarding the seed itself. Is there anything else you guys want to add?
No, not really. GG, LePlopeur. Good luck in your next race.
Well, that will be kind of loose already, but I'll do my best.
Okay, well, thank you very much for the race. Mafka, I don't suppose you want to come in and wrap things up to you, or?
Yeah, that's what I was about. But yeah, GG guys, that was a great race. Just really unfortunate there for missing those hovers, but otherwise, really fun race to watch. Performed quite well. But yeah, just best of luck to you, Plopper, on Double Decker or Pinky Rose.
Don't know which one is the worst for me, but
I mean, at the end of the day, with getting to top 16, it's all going to be really hard from this point. So
yeah,
especially in the top half of the tournament is really tough. Oh my god.
Yeah, I kind of prayed that I wouldn't be there, and of course I got drawn like right after I've done so. So I kind of felt a bit sad about it, but never know. It's rando. Maybe if I skip some things, I can manage to beat one or two.
Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, no confirmation on when the next Challenge Cup race will be streamed on Randomania. There's only a handful of races currently scheduled, but follow the relevant links to find out more information later on. But that's going to do it for this stream. Thank you once again to our runners, GrimmFairy and LePlopeur. Thank you to Mafgo for restreaming this race on Randomania. Thank you, chat, for watching. Thank you, Chimp, for joining me on commentary.
My pleasure.
And until next time, that will do us. So remember, it's not done. It's not done. I'm trying to make that thing. I don't know if you noticed.
Did we just finish on that?
I hope we don't. It's really lame. Alright, take care, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, good night, guys.